you guys are adventuring in the lands of Toivoa. And most recently, were down here near South Cove at the Temple of Mosaba, where Saphira has been inhabited and infused with the voice of Mosaba, becoming the avatar of a god. As she assaulted the party, you managed to grab the blue crystal, Mr. Seatoad Coin, and have, with entreatment, asked that everyone except for Saphira be teleported to the Blue Palace. And that's where we pick up as you guys arrive at the Blue Palace. Oshin and Saison and Malachi are in a force cage off to the side. As you guys arrive, you see on the throne Silas.
Well, that was close.
Coin is on the ground, hyperventilating currently.
I thought that might have been the end. I'm glad we're alive, but I'm not glad that Saphira's probably gone for forever. That's a long time.
Time is relative.
Where?
Coin's hand extends outward to the three unknown guests, and he'll say, Whitelist! Whitelist! Whitelist!
Yeah, can you let those guys in?
De facto party members.
Not de facto, they definitely are just real party members.
Actual party members.
Real party members, Coin, not de facto.
Is it that what de facto means?
No!
Oh.
Interesting. So things have changed a little bit since I last checked in with you all.
That's putting it mildly.
Oh, you might notice we're missing one. Our trip kind of relates to that. Coin regains himself, stands back up, pats himself off. Saphira's, I don't even know where to start.
Saphira got taken by Mosaba. She's the blood god's avatar now.
That's
We
kind
tried
of a
to stop
problem.
it, but we almost had her, but she forced us to retreat. Thanks for the rescue, by the way. Definitely saved all of our asses.
Yeah, we definitely were all gonna die.
I feel a need to reiterate, this does not count as my favor. Okay, the one you owe is still owed.
That's interesting.
We never
Because that would
established
mean I teleported you out of generosity, and I gotta say, I'm not really known for that.
Well, I would put to you that you gave us these shards with no contingency on their use.
Ah, alright, so you are on your toes. Okay, good, not everything's changed.
I wouldn't say we're in a very strong position to bargain right now, Coin.
Yeah, well, maybe we will end up needing to cash that favor, because I'm going to be honest. You pulled this out right at the end of the ceremony, and we're kind of up shit creek right now, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know what's in your power to... I don't know. Get us out of there alive, or get anything you could do for Saphira?
Well, we're already out, right? Like, we're not gonna get just teleported back, right?
Well,
Ruza just looks at Damon.
Every time we've come to the Blue Palace before, we've gone back exactly where we left. Maybe we should give him the facts. So
Yeah, I was about to say, if we're gonna bargain, let's start at the beginning. Why don't you here? Silas will gesture, and the glitter that was forming the force cage will sort of dissipate to free your new party members, and will form into like a series of like comfortable couches. And Silas will gesture, and I'm sure some nymphs and dryads and like satyrs will come in and bring offer at least to folks refreshments and drinks, and he'll be like, yeah, take a seat, start at the beginning.
cheers. So Saphira became a vampire. We're not sure exactly when, but we think it was some time ago. And eventually, whatever happened caught up to her because last night, at least from our perspective, last night on the material plane, she disappeared, and we were able to spy on her using magic, and we determined that she was undergoing a ritual to be transformed, probably against her will, into the voice of Mosaba, whom we understand to be Mosaba's avatar on the material plane. And we so we used one of the chrononacrum keys to spend the rest of the day because we witnessed the ritual being completed. So we spent the rest of the day preparing for the battle, locating the Temple of Mosaba, and securing an artifact to teleport us there safely. And then we used the chrononacrum key to go back to the early morning before the ritual completed and teleported to Mosaba's lair, which is a temple in the South Cove. And we attempted to stop the ritual, but we failed to rescue Saphira in time. We defeated all of her minions and we battled her to a standstill, but she just barely got her second wind and started to kick all of our asses.
And then it became less of a standstill. And he's like looking over your visible injuries and the blood that's like spilling onto his couch.
Yeah, I had a good hold on her for about like 25, 30 seconds, and then she broke free and started like dancing through the whole party and cutting everyone in half. So, well, not literally, but she probably would have got to that point if you didn't pull us out of there.
She's a blood speaker now. So in addition to her previous rogue-like abilities, which were substantial, she now has the ability to use the blood that she sheds to her advantage, and she can do disgusting things like redirect spells and damage from attacks. And basically, once she accumulates a supply of blood, she's unstoppable. And at this point, we were completely exhausted. So yeah, Saphira's basically alone in the Temple of Mosaba, but we're at the end of our rope. And so this was an emergency exit. And yeah, anyway, these are our new friends. This is Seizun, Malachi, and Oshin. We bumped into them in one place or another on our various travels, and they chose to accompany us to the temple.
And none of them have bombs in their chest.
Oh yeah, David might not. Sorry, Silas might not understand that reference. Yeah, we had another.
Oh, of course, absolutely he won't. But Coin's still gonna say it while eating an hors d'oeuvre.
I just don't want to frighten our host. One of our previous party members turned out to be a plant, and when we confronted them, they exploded. We're like 95% sure that these guys don't have bombs in them. But yeah, so
I think Seizun might have like an emotional bomb, but in terms of like physical, we're good.
I'm sure you guys have done this a bunch of times, so I apologize. We can do an abbreviated version, but can the folks that Silas would not recognize, would you mind giving just like a very quick description of what I would see, what you look like, how beat up you are?
Okay.
Yeah, Malachi, as far as being beat up, he's like certainly winded, a little bit wounded, not all the way down yet, but you see a relatively tall, dark-skinned SMR with glowing green eyes and a big hammer.
Oshin?
And a big hammer, is that what you said?
Yes.
Love it.
Yep.
And Oshin is a Minotaur. He is about one hit away from going down from his own melee attacks. He has so little health. And he is in a kilt that's black and purple with a battle axe because he is a barbarian wizard.
Oh, very fun. Okay.
Seizun, who is not here at the moment, he should be joining us later, is a dashing man with bright green hair, clad in full plate armor. And Silas, he's cursed.
His shield
Oh,
particularly.
as he joins,
is
that's
cursed.
amazing.
Just as he joins.
Perfect timing.
That was perfect timing.
What do you look like, Sizen?
We are describing Sazin to
Yeah, we're conversing with
Silas.
Silas, and the new party members who have not met Silas are introducing yourself, and we were just talking about you, so you joined at the exact right moment.
Oh, no mic.
It's okay. He's still arranging himself.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Yep.
Yes, I actually met Silas in the past. I've been here once before. I parted with him for a year after everyone else left. It was a little bit awkward.
It was.
At least you remember the party.
Some parts, for sure.
Okay, so sorry. Coin said what I know to be his favorite word, and what is at least in my top 5, which was bargain. So you guys seem pretty open ended on the help you need, but you don't want me filling in the blanks for you on what you're looking for.
Coin downs a
What's your best
honeydew
case scenario?
or whatever kind of, hors d'oeuvres they eat. And then he looks up at Silas. He's going to say, I mean, if we're starting big here, rolling the clock back to before the ritual would be great.
Well, it's best case scenario. I think if we focus on the ending, I think number one priority is we're not dead, which we've managed to accomplish that so far. So that's like pretty good.
Really look at the upside here.
If possible, we would love to try and save Saphira, but we also are not really sure what options are on the table right now in terms of bargaining. What can you do for us?
Can you roll the clock back for specific people, or does it have to be the world as a whole?
You even have that much control?
Ironically, I did. Perhaps maybe at one time have something closer to that much control. Since you all, and I don't mean this as a slight, I'm very grateful that you did, but since you all killed the time dragon with whom I will say shared this domain, things are a little bit wonky, a little bit less predictable, and a little bit less easily influenced by me. Short answer, no. But I can't, I can I can pause things a little. You could, I'm trying to think of a in-game way to mechanically say that you could rest here for a short period without having too many concerns. But if you were to try and rest here for longer than that, you run the risk of the very real risk of time passing, of your foes getting up to whatever they get up to, of Saphira tending to her wounds, regaining her powers, things like that.
So are you implying that when this ends, we're just going to get teleported back to where we were?
Is that not what you want? I thought Bryn just said he wants to free Saphira. I don't know anyone else in the world working on that right now.
That's the best case scenario.
Wow.
It's possible that we can't put ourselves, if we can't configure ourselves in a way that gives us an advantage when we go back, then, this is probably the best chance we're ever going to have to either kill Saphira or knock her out. So we know that the last voice of Masaba was rescued through divine intervention by Imkale. We believe they were dragged up the steps to one of Imkale's temples and kind of just like disintegrated. Apparently it was really gross. But then, because Imkale and Masaba don't get along from what I can tell. And so the being on holy ground just caused them to kind of forcibly reject not only the avatar, but also all of their bones and internal organs. But it is, and then Imkale allowed their host to be resurrected. So that's like kind of the best possible plan that we could think of to actually save Saphira. But if we decide that she can't be rescued, then the next best option is probably to put her down.
We're not
I
talking
don't
about
like to say it, but
She can do that.
Silas, I have a question. Does your domain extend only to the present and the past, or do you dwell in the realm of foresight, of the future? How much do you know?
Of the three, I wouldn't say the future is my area of expertise, but I also, yeah, my power extends into the future.
Well, something even as simple as knowing where someone is 2 days from now. Is that...
Oh, interesting
Well.
question. I can certainly give you... Yeah, perfect, Eric. That was going to be my guess. I can certainly give you educated guesses. I can tell you versions of the future that I see in 2 days and where she is in those versions, but I can't... Which of those versions you end up in, if any...
So you're dealing in
Dependent on
probability
stuff.
more than you are one solidified timeline.
Yeah, I mean, so is the cosmos. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can do the same thing. Either Saphira's out there killing people, or we cure her. Woo.
Or we kill her. There is a third option. I know
That
I don't want to admit it.
That's not a third option.
Jason, Saphira is about to become the worst serial killer in the history of the world.
About
friend
who
is
doesn't
gone.
mean she's there yet. We can stop this.
No, she's there. Saphira's gone. Unless we entreat Imkale or some other god to bring her back, Saphira is... There's nothing we can do at the Temple of Mosaba. We would at the very least have to knock her out.
Well,
But
does Saphira still have her blood at this moment, though? Even if we're able to rest up and regain some of our strength, I mean, if we go back there and she still has blood on all of us, it's gonna be hopeless.
not necessarily. She only had 2 or 3 blood points, and if we get hit points back, we can take hits. And she can... Because, like, let's say, right, the reason we had to bail is because I'm at 1 hit point. And if Saphira had my blood, and so if you attacked her, Ruzid, then... excuse me. Yeah, two from Bryn and 2 from Ruzid. And so if you attacked me, then I go down when she redirects the damage. And if I try and... I'm out of spell slots, and so we're basically... Anybody who goes down is probably staying down at that point. But if we go back... You can land an attack, and if a single attack gets redirected to me and I'm at full health, that's okay.
I think the
Is part of
question
it that she can just teleport around, though? If I get a grip on her, she's just going to be able to teleport away.
But that's fine. That's a blood droplet gone, and then we do it again because
I
with
think
the
the
whole
question
party
is
at full
how
strength.
much of our strength can we regain? If it's just going to be a short little bit, just get some health back, I don't think we have the resources at the moment.
We should also
could
consider
tell-
Saphira may not be alone when we go back.
If we take a short rest, we go back to exactly where we left, and I think she is alone. The question is, what do we get back on a short rest, and is it enough? I get hit points. We're kind of a long rest party. Coin gets everything. Ruzid gets fighter stuff. Warlocks get spell slots, but not Mystic Arcanum. Man, that would be a tough fight. Not unwinnable. I have 1 8th level spell slot that I can try using for telekinesis to restrain Saphira.
Something else to consider, Bryn, is we do still also have 1 use of the hat.
Okay.
There's a potion of something like angelic slumber. Is that a thing that exists in this version, Eric?
You know? Please roll medicine check.
Can I have advantage or anything like that? Because my parents run a potion shop?
I'm cool with that. I like that justification.
Thank goodness.
I didn't know that about your parents.
Well, I didn't either, apparently.
Oh,
All good. Thank you.
Well,
Two.
there's got to be something we can pull out of the hat, but I don't know what.
Neither do I.
Silas, I have another question. And if it's a tall order, feel free to shut it down or name your price. But if you really can look into, timelines and give like a general estimate, I'm almost curious to know, if you look forward from right now, how likely does it seem like Saphira Coin sort of pauses. Doesn't come back.
I'm happy to look into things like that. But before you ask it, might be worth considering all of the things you're looking for. Everything that I will give you will have a price. So I can look into that. I could, but I don't know how much you can buy, we'll say. And there are other things I can give you that can help you recoup or recharge or things like that before you go back. So I'm happy to look into that future or other futures. I just don't know how. I don't know what prices you're willing to pay. Some of you seem like you're in more dire straits than others. And I glance over at Tati, who I think has been described with, I think it would cock his head. Some of you were wearing new and eccentric jewelry, referring to your chains. I believe you're in handcuffs.
Ew.
Oh yeah, what did happen to you? You got
Yeah.
teleported.
Yeah, wait, are you okay?
I made well, they were gonna be friends. I came here. I got arrested.
Seeing you in handcuffs means you're either having a really good time or really bad time, and it's really hard to tell.
It was probably gonna be okay. I feel real tired, and so I was having some trouble picking the locks.
Yeah, the
It's
temple has
just-
taken a toll on you, hasn't it?
Being inside that temple is really, really hard. Like every 6 seconds, it's really hard.
Coin's gonna respond to Silas. He'll say, well, if we're speaking broadly, we can hash down what this exactly means, but I can't speak on behalf of my crew. But I could put myself on the line and say, for every timeline you look into, I'll run you an errand, so to speak. We picked up a lot of items for you in the past, done you favors, so couldn't hurt to build a tab with the great Sea-Toad coin whenever you need something picked up.
Coin, before you start promising things, maybe, Silas, you have something in mind. What are you looking for? What sort of cost do you have attached to these things?
Pretty open, pretty fluid. I do like the idea of errands. I do have items that I like. I do have errands in the material world that I might want done. I certainly
honestly,
like
if you're hungry, I'll go grab you lunch. Just ring my shard and I'll run it over.
Oh, we're for sure thinking on a different scale. I think of errand, but
worth a shot.
I mean, I could take. Really, it could come from any direction. Memories.
Bryn makes a damn good sandwich.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, you could owe me favors in terms of items I might want one day, or errands I might want run, or messages I might want delivered to people I find it difficult to communicate with. Alternately, I mean, I don't know how much coin we'll be able to buy in terms of information or in terms of items. Maybe you are in a palace. I have lots of stuff that could be made available to you.
I mean, if you want to talk fiscally about it, that's a different conversation. I was kind of assuming you're up here on a pink throne, which is beautiful, by the way. I kind of figured, getting rid of your used couch was low on the priority list, but.
No. I mean, I have an armory and I have an alchemical lab and we have, plenty of magic here. We have people doing stuff. So there's a little bit of an opportunity to restock, but it depends on what you can offer. There's going to be only so many errands that I want done. There's only going to be so many things you want to know. If others of you are willing to offer, I don't know, spell slots permanently, years off your life, memories of the first time you fell in love. I don't know. Let's get interesting.
How much is a truly unique magical item worth to you? I'm thinking maybe a phylactery of a certain unknown person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that thing.
Are we in a position to even put that on the table? I'm under the impression we're already obligated with that. And I'm not going to put something up I've already negotiated over.
Hey, what was
Never
the
offered it
negotiation?
or put myself in a situation where we couldn't do something with it.
Over the table, the conversation, I forget her name, but we have the phylactery. Did she say we could have it back after she was done with it?
No, we promised that we would give her we would find the skull for her, the skull of the demon, so that she could speak with it. The phylactery, she's expressed interest in that, but as far as I'm aware, we haven't promised it to her. I think you guys had a conversation when I wasn't there, where you were open to being more friends with her, but I think Season wasn't there for that, so I don't know that.
You care a lot
against
about this.
putting that up.
Silas leans forward and is openly just intrigued at the amount you guys are talking amongst yourselves pretty intensely. So I think just the more that you're visibly caring about this item, I mean, I think Silas is like, the ears elongate, the shadows lengthen, like you've piqued his interest.
Season.
What do you know about Rafina?
Rafinas,
sorry.
Okay.
I'll make a check. What would that be? Would that be history?
This would be a history check, yes. Because we can find out if Silas knows.
Something else I want to add, Season, is that this came from Saphira's chest.
I will re-roll that. I will spend a sorcery point to re-roll, and then I might spend another couple to bend my luck. We'll see what I get.
Okay.
The person with the most authority to put this up is not here.
I completely agree, Coin. But also, she's not in a situation to be making any calls. And if it comes down to it, I'd rather have her back than in any item.
You make a good point.
Okay. So, with a 23 total, Silas, you've heard of the great bard Rafinas. You've even had her at a party. She's pleasant and generally a good conversationalist. She's very inquisitive about all sorts of things that you would deem just normal, but she also likes to dabble in more arcane things. She likes to understand how you do things and that sort of thing.
Did she strike me? So intellectually curious. Did she strike me as capable?
Very capable. Very, very capable. You would associate a lot of what she does with, I'm going to not say those words aloud. I'm going to send these just to you.
Sure.
Well, now I'm even more curious.
Are your shadows lengthening?
My ears are getting pointier.
Or are you just happy to see us?
All right. There you go. I hope that helps.
Oh, it does. Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, so she's capable, curious,
We're going to keep
smart.
those names out of the picture, though, please.
No, I will, for sure. But she's capable, curious, smart, and reminds me of a few skilled people I know. Yeah, man, I want her blood. For sure. Absolutely.
So, to be clear, we have a certain item that she values incredibly highly. That is a unique item. You cannot find another one like it. What would that be worth? She would, I can guarantee you, give a lot to get it back. We know that much. What would that get?
She had to kill us all to get it back already.
She freaking threw dragons at us. It was a lot.
It's high shelf.
So, I think... Oh, for that, okay, and then let me run another thing by you, Barrett.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty much okay with whatever you decide.
While they're doing that, everyone else, I'm going to kind of lean back. We probably still have the Discord server up, right?
Assuming it followed us, yeah.
That is a good question. I don't remember.
In this place, everything that would come through the Discord server would be inverted and ununderstandable.
That makes things. That's
absolutely normal. It just 100%.
I finally understand what Coin's saying.
The Rosetta Stone for the train wreck.
Invert everything. Yeah.
Just invert it all.
Just for everyone here, what Does anyone have any major problems with this? I know I'm throwing it out there, and I don't feel good about this at all, to be honest. But Saphira is more important than any item.
I don't care about the item at all, but I am unclear about what you think you're purchasing with it.
I'm trying to figure that out too.
Has anyone thought about my really awesome idea?
Go crazy.
Okay, I want to tell you about my idea. My idea was we capture Saphira and Mosaba and put them in a box and put them at the bottom of the ocean. And Mosaba gets so bored about being trapped in there that eventually she just decides to leave Saphira on her own. And then we skip to the future and go pick up Saphira when Mosaba's already out.
Do we have a frame of reference for how patient Mosaba is? Because
do we even have the ability to time travel into the future?
Can we even get her in a box right now?
I have a chrononacrum key.
That is a really inefficient form of time travel. I'm not against it, but we're gonna do a lot of waiting in between.
I'm more concerned about.
We're just gonna let the key take the wheel and hope it just time travels us far enough.
I mean, is it any different than letting Saphira drive the ship?
I mean,
well, yeah, we could jump in the way and grab the wheel.
But the thing is, Saphira messing up driving the ship means like we crash into a wall or something stupid. But the key messing up could like really, really fuck us up.
I don't think Saphira ever messed up driving the ship. She just took us in a new direction.
Into a wall. She definitely,
and it was an adventure every time. And so the key will also be an adventure.
The key isn't an issue of it like messing up and going wrong. The problem is in a worst case scenario, it's going to skip us forward like 3 days, and it's going to take a year for Mosaba to leave Saphira.
And that's assuming no one else can rescue her, because Mosaba has other followers and some powerful ones at that.
In a best case scenario, we're turning a year into maybe like, I don't know, 5 months, maybe 6, assuming we have to do recharge time.
That's fine.
Oh, Masaba's a guy. I thought it was like a cuisine this whole time. I'm following you now. I'm getting it.
No, that's wasabi.
Wait,
got it.
Wait, can we get sushi after this?
Ruzin, not
that was his Silas.
Ruzin, if we get out of this alive, you can have all the sushi you want. And
I'm just
I
saying,
know that's
Bryn,
a lot of sushi.
Nothing makes you hungrier than being on near death.
Not disputing that. Yes, to clarify, Mosaba is the god of blood.
Well, she was a god, and then she lost all her followers, and then became almost nothing. And then somehow got more followers again because they put a giant statue, or a giant head of her statue, in the central wall. And then people go and, in order to solve the fun tourist puzzles that they do at the museum, you have to bleed on the statue.
And people just do that? They just say, "Yeah, here's my blood" for like a little sticker.
An idiot would do that.
Is it like an I donated sticker?
I can't believe I'm on Silas's side. Like, who does that?
It's like a lot of people.
That seemed rather unbelievable that someone would do that intentionally.
But then you like get away with it at some point.
What was that?
We're not 100% sure exactly what happened. Now that I think about it, Saphira was acting a little weird after we left the central wall, but the exact nature of what happened to her is I don't know, but it might not.
She went blind and then could see heartbeats and life. She was pretty badly affected after that.
Do you guys remember when I was like,
you didn't
tell me about
that.
the important things that maybe caused enemies or big problems in the party? I feel like that one wasn't mentioned, because I have a list.
Let's
I'm
I'm gonna be honest.
Did you just keep this to yourself, Toddy? Are you serious?
Hey, can I take a look at that list?
Listen, I love Saphira, but the whole seeing hearts thing, not her biggest red flag. Did not
What's it
see
worth to you, Silas?
The list isn't actually
The list of our enemies.
Yeah, I 100% wrote down this list.
It sounded to me above the table like a Batman list of like, here's how to defeat everybody in the Justice League.
See, I'm not telling you this in character, out of character. I have a list of the people that hate people in this party, / vague enemies, / people who may want them dead, because they kept on popping up in the first few weeks of me adventuring with them. I'm like, okay, just tell me who hates you. I need to know.
We don't have a kryptonite list, unfortunately. Yet.
Well, I mean, we
And
could
to
give
be
you that
fair-
list just for safekeeping. So, if you meet any of those people who hate us, you'll just know that they hate us, and that might change how you deal with them.
It certainly might.
It ranges from like shopkeepers that thought we were a little bit rowdy to people that
Paid
blame us for the
assassins.
deaths of
Wait,
their. Yeah.
Is that why Bryn doesn't get along with Fart Boiler?
Sorry.
Well, I
what?
don't think you'd get along with him
Are
since you
Foiler
said
on our
Xenomorph.
mortal
I don't
enemies
think I've seen a
list?
single person get along with Fart Boiler.
Nobody gets
Mhm.
along with Farboiler.
Don't you guys remember he waved to me?
Mm-hmm.
We
Don't
okay.
remind me.
The reason I don't get along with Farboiler is because I wouldn't sell him drugs. After one of our drug raids, I was trying to ethically dispose of a large quantity of Sood, and I asked Farboiler, perhaps foolishly because I didn't quite realize the extent of his character flaws, if he knew of a way that it could be used medicinally, and he offered me 25 grand for it, and he was pretty pissed when I said no.
So just to get something straight, you call me when you're at 1 HP, but you don't call me when you have 25 grand worth of Sood you need to get off your hands?
As a matter of fact, we actually gave you much more than that in Frenzy, Purple Frenzy, which is a different, much worse drug.
I'm not sure we were on. I'm not sure the manner of the terms we were on with Silas when we might.
No,
actually
you didn't. You hadn't
not.
met him yet. I was just fucking around.
Okay, no, I genuinely don't remember what part of the story we were at, because Silas might have been captured by then, and not important. But yeah, that anyway. That
So wait, no. What is
that-
important is what did you do with the 25 grand worth of Sood?
It got dumped into the ocean when we got teleported to the Feywild for the first time.
Okay,
which
excellent. So
actually
Bryn's
just-
back in a force cage.
That's fine. I'll get
I'm,
it later.
I'm kidding. Go on.
I love that he put himself in the corner.
You're in timeout.
Yeah, we were. It was not intentional. We were still trying to figure out what to do with it. But we were teleported to the Feywild after the whole time unraveling thing started happening, and we were not told that there was a possibility that we would not be arriving on land. So in a way, it was the best thing that could have happened to it, from my perspective. You may disagree.
Silas,
but-
I may be shooting a blank here, but I want to just know where your priorities align. Do you have an opinion on Sigeos?
Yes. Oh, good question. I guess I'm doing a lot of history. I assume history checks today, unless Eric, like that for sure he would or would not. Then
You can roll a history check. Sure, I'm fine with that.
I don't expect it, but just for context, for like Eric and for Damon, this is coin going. Silas wants something. Maybe two birds with one stone. Maybe I can act like, oh, I'll kill Sigeos for you, when it was already his plan to.
I'm
This is
formally-
incredible.
He's never heard the name.
Okay.
truly otherworldly rules tonight. Just
You get a
just
plus
terrible.
7.
Like,
I
you
love
know,
it
it's
so
so
much.
silent.
Don't worry,
Welcome
it's
back
just
to the
wild.
Trainwreck.
For those who
I mean,
did not
damn.
watch the O Gods Y campaign, this is 100% legitimate to this character's history checks. As
I
a
would get
campaign log.
proficiencies in stuff. Yeah, I would get proficiencies in this stuff, and the dice would be like, yeah, but it's Silas, so let's be real about it. Like, what do you have heard of this? Like, he's not paying attention. Like, okay, fine.
No,
Fair.
like,
Like I
what I know
studied
Silas,
medieval
this makes
history. I know everything about it. Specifically Japanese medieval history.
Well,
Nothing in Europe.
wait,
Yeah,
so
I ended up
someone-
interpreting it more as like being very good at remembering people who've wronged me or what I've heard or things that have been said to me, because I apparently don't ever remember shit about anything going on in the real world.
That chapter did not have my name once.
Yeah, exactly.
So Silas, are you after like a boatload of purple frenzy or whatever? Like I don't understand. That's something you
I
want.
have. Oh no, I just like giving Bryn a hard time. He's just. I mean, look at him, and like I think if all eyes turn, he's clearly the most high-strung guy here. He's the most high-strung guy here. I have to.
One
like,
hit point.
Bryn's literally the best of us.
I don't think
mean,
Bryn is out of
what?
character. I don't think Bryn is the best of us anymore. I think Sazin is the best of us.
I'm inclined to
Jason is
agree.
not
I
the
think
best of
Season
us.
believes you're the best of us either way.
I think
Sazin
Satan pretends he's
Put
the
a
best of us.
priestess in the blood and lost us Saphira, if anyone remembers that.
Well, but that was
the only
a
one I've seen
tactical
do
choice.
drugs. He ripped somebody's arms off.
No, I'm talking about ripping
I
the
remember
arms
that
off.
also. Yeah,
This
the
guy's
arm
bar
ripping.
is very low.
That was supposed to be a gift. I was convinced. I'm not very bright. Silas, what is the maximum you're willing to offer us? And then let's discuss the price after that.
Sure. So I can look into, we can get visions. I can glance into the future, tell you what I see. I have plenty of, I keep potions, I keep scrolls, I keep things I find interesting lying around. I keep plenty of suit. I keep things that might be useful to you if you're taking a short rest and then bouncing right back into battle. I also have perhaps one or two more significant items on my person that you could borrow. Those would not be something that you could have, but those would be something that you could borrow for your next, for these next steps in your adventure. Yeah, I would like that. Can I get a glance at that phylactery that you said you had? Are you holding it as you're talking about it? Can Silas see it?
You cannot currently see it. How about we get a glimpse of those items and you can have a glimpse, but not a touch of our items?
So fussy.
Sure. But also, he's in my palace and I can cast detect magic at will, so maybe I don't need to pay for that. Do I detect anything going on about that phylactery?
Beautiful.
Oh, I'm going to send you a message because I'm not going to tell them this because no.
We don't know what we have.
Hey, detect magic isn't identify, hopefully.
No, I'm really just trying to get a vibe. Like, I don't need to identify it. I just kind of want his powers. If it's a very bright light as opposed to a very dim light, magically speaking, that's
why would you not do that? It's beautiful.
Interesting. That's why we priced it where we did. I see, Eric. Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting phylactery. I do like it. That would get you one vision or a handful of these, and I think Silas will just wave his hand and one of the walls turns see-through, and you can see into some sort of storage room that there are, I don't know, let me look. What do I have? Potions of...
mustaches. You have no mustaches in there.
Potions of supreme healing, or a potion of supreme healing. Let's see, rejuvenation potion, that would be expensive. I have supreme mana potions. I have a superior healing potion, a heroism, some unstable healing potions, things like that. I've got a handful of scrolls, and you see plenty of suit.
That is a lot of stuff.
Yes, you would be able to get depending on the value of the potions or the scrolls, you would be able to get a few for the phylactery. Or you could borrow, and you can probably see Silas's sword hanging up on a wall or something, or maybe leaning against the throne. And you could borrow the sword if its magic is something that would be appealing to you or useful to you, for a limited period of time.
Damn.
Just
That's
out of
a nice
curiosity,
story.
Silas.
Yeah.
You're looking at the phylactery. Coin will hop up a little closer and fetch.
I would also
something.
like you to run an errand. That could get you more stuff. I like the errand idea as well.
The errand is absolutely still on the table, but if we're dealing in physical goods, this is kind of something I plan to sell at some point. But you got to find the right buyer, right? And he fetches out a very aged ancient wine worth approximately 10k gold, aged 40 years. Sounds like something to coin that Silas would be at least a little interested in as a, a partier.
I totally forgot we had these.
He's
I can't believe
holding
you didn't drink it.
he's holding it out to you like, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I'll sniff it. Like, Eric, I think I agree with your price, but I want to at least confirm, like, is it interesting? Because if it's just expensive, I think I have plenty of expensive. But is there anything interesting about, I don't know, made in a unique way, made by a small vintage, made in a place that doesn't exist anymore? I don't know, anything going on with it?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Well, there you go. Those were all, okay, so shots in the dark.
And hey, you can always age it a little more if you want. That seems like something in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I could toss it into your little river if you really
So
want
we're
it.
going to go ahead and put a. I'm going to send this only to you, Silas, because you would know this.
I have a few
Yeah,
more, but
I
they're
can-
not as fancy, not quite as aged.
I can trade a few potions for that.
It's good to know it's on the table then.
There you go.
Interesting.
Coin will turn back to the crew, giving him a neutral nod. That means nothing, other than he's willing to trade it.
I don't have a weapon.
My
in
sword's
my-
halfway out. I'm confused.
Who has
My
the
sword is
bag of
birds.
holding, by the way?
I'm holding
Who
it.
has it? So what's the stock we currently have at all? Like, do we have any healing in there? Anything?
Let's take a look at what we have.
I'm not sure we do.
We don't
Most
have
of it
much.
got divvied up before the fight, and like
Yeah.
the mana potions got drunk. Most of the potions of heroism were
Okay.
consumed.
I got one thing in my pack that could heal us for a little bit, just a little bit. It's like a few potions worth of healing, but anything counts right now. So
Coin's
Do we, have
gonna.
a potion, we have a potion of vitality, which will cure exhaustion and get you some health.
Toddy could probably use that. We're just gonna pull out a this, and he has 5 uses.
Technically, if we
So I
get
got
6
this
out,
ointment. It could heal you a little bit at least.
Let's-
Something.
Let's have a quick group chat before we determine what we're selling and what we need. Silas, if you would excuse us, my apologies.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I
mean-
think in the most stupid and fey and ostentatious way possible. I think I give you privacy by moving an entire, very temporarily. You'll give me a signal when it's time to end. A whole party moves in. The doors open. An entire absolute ballroom full of people move in. They begin doing formal dances, and you are now. Your privacy is the anonymity among a crowd. You can talk. Nobody's paying attention to you. We're all having a good time.
God, that
Guys-
sounds so right.
Amazing.
Guys, can we meet in this corner? Just please.
No, get over here.
I'll get him. Coin hops over to you and he just picks you up.
Am I supposed to be in the wall right now or no?
Oh,
What are you
the
in the
joke is
wall?
that Bryn is still in a force cage, but yeah, I can just come over.
Coin picks you up and just throws you across the river, and then hops behind you.
Okay, real quick discussion. If we're thrown back into the same moment we were in, what do we need to get back to Saphira?
Well, we would need to be
think-
at much higher health. I'd have to grab her, pin her down, and everyone would have to run away so she can't get blood. And then we'd have to drag her out somehow. And then all of you would have to bombard her with attacks from range while she's
It's
pinned
easy.
down.
My best guess here is if number one thing's health. We all need to heal significantly. Number two is I think if you and I have a few spells, we can buff you, the two of us. If you can grapple her and fly away with me on your back, I think the two of us together can wear her down.
Do we know if she's still like
We don't even need
stunnable?
to, we don't even need to fly away though. We could just keep her pinned down in one location while the rest of the party rains hell.
Well, think about this. Like, what's the worst that happens? If she has a bunch of backup come in, we can't stay in one place. If we go up into the sky and something bad happens, she somehow manages to break out from you, then she's just falling at that point.
I think at this moment she's got no backup. This is our chance.
I
You
saw
guys
other
know-
people in the temple.
Do you guys know what's on the tallest mountain near the temple? It's a palace, from I think the capital of Corlin.
Alternatively,
there's-
if you can find any way to teleport us and her to a temple immediately, then the game might change.
Well, we'd also need to get into the temple.
Is
I was
that
hoping we could talk to Crystal maybe, because she, I get like her dad was kind of important in Corlin.
is this something, Eric, that I would know as somebody, like if my character's from here and if that's the capital?
South Cove is not the capital. The capital of Corlin is Ochakfuk, which is in the center of the land. South Cove is its own little city-state within the country. Regan Fang holds it pretty hardcore.
It was very impressive people over there.
How exhausted how is the most exhausted party member doing? In terms of
Bryn has
exhaustion levels?
one, but doesn't really care unless more
Body's
cast.
level
The
3.
only ability chucks that I care about are Counterspell, and Saphira doesn't have any high-level magic that I have to roll for. At least not that we know. Famous last words.
Okay, just checking. Coin has 1, so he'd be fine with a short rest, but a long rest would clear it, and if someone else needs a long rest, we could try to go for it.
My thing is, I could really use some spell slots. I have none left. If we get spell and help, I feel like, especially Ruza and I together, can corner Saphira.
If I got haste and like Shield of Faith, I think we could corner her.
Do we know?
If we haste Shield of Faith, I'm riding you, so I can also take your damage. I feel like the two of us together, with my aura, could really at least wear her down. And then if we knock her out, we can take her to the temple.
Well, actually, since we're in here, I can change up my equipment a little bit. I wasn't able to do this in the fight, but...
I have telekinesis as well, which it seems is extremely hard for her to get away from due to the checks involved. And it's also something that if she diverts that to a fellow party member with a blood point, it's harmless.
This is an important question. Coin did not really fight Saphira before the escape. Do we have any reason to believe she cannot be stunned by his usual
She
means?
has legendary resistances. She has consumed, I think, 1, and she had 4 legendary actions around, so that gives me a reason to suspect she has a total of 4 legendary resistances, because they often match.
Coin could still arguably burn through all of them, though, by just non-stop, like, flurry of stuns at her. Within 3 rounds, she'd presumably burn through all of them.
Possible.
Yeah, we also our main ways of trying to restrain her do not use saving throws, which would be grapple checks and telekinesis, and so they are.
Let's think for a minute in terms of mass, like the max buffs we could put on Ruzid. Haste, Shield of Faith, Protection from Good and Evil. What else do people have that they could put on him, if anything? Actually, no, Protection from Good or Evil doesn't do anything here. Sorry, we know that about it.
Set up his
Haste is my main thing.
A new Sanctuary.
If we have Bless, that's really strong. Yeah.
Does anyone have a... Oh, go on.
I think we also need to make a plan for what do we do if we knock her out. Like, where do we go from there?
I think that goes back to Coin asking about looking in the future. I think we ask Silas, alright, we're going to grapple Saphira, maybe knock her out. I would like you to look into a future where we do that. I don't know how, like, contextual he can get, but if he can peek into a future where we somehow, like, fix it, we would have a clue, at least, as to, like,
I think getting her to the Temple of Impale is a clue.
That is a more solid one, yeah.
There isn't one nearby, so we...
Okay, well, maybe we could frame it like that. We capture her and bring her to the Mkale Temple. What happens?
She probably explodes, and the Avatar is dealt with, but then we just have to ask Mkale very nicely if he would do us a solid. We also, one thing we had not considered yet is we also may want to consider, can we ask Crystal for a favor? For those out of the loop, Crystal was a former party member who left the party at the same time that Damon did, and Crystal actually is Silas's wife. She's a cleric, and she's now Silas's wife in the Blue Palace.
She honestly might be in the room.
today's
Like, she
meeting.
could be camouflaged with all this pink. You'd never know.
Yeah.
My other
Yeah.
question is, do we know that it just has to be Imkale that would be able to help here, or could it be any god?
I don't think we should take the chance on it being someone else. I think from what we learned from the legend lore, Imkale specifically has such hatred and despises Mosaba so much that the Avatar could not bear to exist within
Hatred
his
is a
sacred
strong
ground.
word for that.
Okay.
I mean, disgust maybe, but
Yeah,
let's
you know
not
Imkale
get
better
overly
than I do.
aggressive.
You know
Tati,
it better than I do.
do you think Imkale would be willing / able, I mean not able, willing to bring Saphira back if we went with the exploding in the temple vibe?
Maybe it's a spite thing. Like, I'm gonna take your avatar and make it mine, just so it's not your. Like, she'll still be like controlled, but it'll be by someone we're on better terms with. You know what I mean? Bad idea.
I think that Imkale can recognize Saphira, even in the state she's in now. And if Masaba can be repelled, then Saphira will be safe with Imkale.
Another option is Crystal is a high enough level cleric that she can raise the dead. In the event that Imkale is not inclined to aid us in this particular venture, we could. So here's what I was thinking during that negotiation is that I'm very skeptical of making a deal with a Fae, but Crystal I trust, and I was going to offer Silas, okay, what if in exchange for these favors rendered, I owe you a favor, with the only precondition being that Crystal has to approve it, or something like that, because I think that we could ask if we could owe Crystal a favor, and Silas might be willing to accept that on her behalf.
As long
Anyway,
as
Temple
we're
of Masaba.
still-
I'm open to that. I don't.
Go ahead.
I
If we-
imagine. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that if we're planning like 9 steps in the future, the last time someone, did this and got Masaba out of a body, she still escaped. I think our step 12 or whatever in this plan should also include making sure that Masaba doesn't go back into the world and do this again next year.
Catch him in a little jar.
I would like that.
That might even be something we can offer in return for getting Saphira back, either trapping Masaba or going after her.
Well, I don't know
We
how
need more jars.
do avatars even work, Toddy? Can we even trap them in a jar? Like, I thought it was a whole like
The
it's
description
Mosaba's like champion, but it's not really Mosaba.
Well, the description that we received about the last time this happened was that Osaba's power leaked out like sludge and trickled down the stairs of Imkale's temple and into the sewer.
Well, Mosaba's power, but maybe not Mosaba themselves.
I think when it comes to gods, probably their power is a little bit of themselves.
Yeah, it would do some damage, I would assume.
I definitely agree that we can add that to our list of objectives, but I think in terms of priority number 1 is stay alive, because failure to meet that particular objective would render any other objective somewhat irrelevant. Objective number 2 would be stop Saphira. Objective number 3 is keep Saphira alive at the end of all this. And possibly tied with number 3 is, can we stop Mosaba from doing this again? Because we might not be able to save the world forever, but we can at least save the world today. But maybe we can shoot for saving the world forever.
In between 2 and 3, can we insert the step separate Masaba from Saphira?
I thought
We'd
it was
stop her.
implied.
stop her,
step
try
two,
to
I
keep
think.
Saphira alive.
That was what I meant by step 2, is
Let's
just
stop
sort
her?
of stop the immediate crisis by separating Mosaba from Saphira, and then part 3, priority number 3 is, if we can, keep Saphira alive at the end of all this, and or stop Mosaba from being able to do this again next year. Because I think both of those are good things we should try and do too. But
I think trying to stop Mosaba in this moment might even kind of be beyond us. I think if we get through this moment, especially if we get Saphira back okay, the next
like
step
step
could be
12.
stopping Mosaba within the next year, because we can put our energy towards that with less of a time crunch.
I just meant if we're pretty confident that we have a plan that turns her into sludge, like let's get a bottle ready.
Yeah, fair, I'm with you.
yeah,
And I noticed that you are carrying around a bottle that contains some powerful energies. Maybe we could just pick up a lot of bottles. Do you think you can add to that bottle? Masaba sludge inside that one? Give it a shake, see what happens.
So what bottle are we talking about?
The whatchamacallit, the thing we pulled out of Saphira's lower back.
That was a key, right?
It was pulled out of her
Oh,
back.
it was a key.
The,
That's true.
The chest had the phylactery, and the phylactery, I believe, is the bottle she's referencing.
That is the bottle I'm referencing.
That feels sketchy, but what if we shoved her in the chest? That's all the way back at the ship, though.
that's a temporary solution, but it might be okay. How are we going to get to the Temple of Mosaba? If step 1 is we take a short rest, we boost up, we go back, we knock out Saphira. Let's say all of that happens. What do we do next? How do we?
Oh, do you know the nearest one?
What's the closest temple, and what's the best way we can teleport there if we can't get there flying?
Closest temple to Imkale?
Yeah.
From South Cove.
From South Cove.
Well, if we're teleporting, it could be any temple.
Well, that's the next issue. Like, first is what's the closest, then is what's our best teleporting option.
Well, right now we don't have one, because every teleport spell except plane shift requires a willing participant.
Which we could see if he has a plane shift scroll.
I'd like to point out that dead people don't get a vote.
Oh, are we just killing her outright?
That would work.
Well, if the plan is to drag her to,
she's dying either way if we do
that's
that.
gonna happen.
No. If we
that's
kill her,
a part of the process.
If we kill her right now, Mosaba may just immediately claim her soul.
I thought the plan was just to burn the legendary resistances, and then I'll cast Command and make her willing.
Is that how that works?
That's creepy, and I don't think you're a good person.
Well, it might.
Shrug.
We could just say submit for a round, and then we teleport. Well, but then she's not knocked out in that scenario.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem.
Because we want her to also be knocked out. Man. Yeah.
Why is party with Who put that on the board?
I'll get rid of it.
Okay. First thing.
Never.
Exactly how far by flying is the nearest temple to Imkale?
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull up the map here, because we need to go ahead and show you guys. So, you guys are here near South Cove. The nearest temple to Imkale that Tati would be aware of, because I believe that is...
Or Oshin.
Or Oshin, okay. We can roll a history check for both of you.
That's where I was from, by the way. I don't know.
Yes.
Like those mountains. I don't know if since I've only been there.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's the mountains between there and Reston. So I've only been there, the university, and then where I met them.
Right.
So
you would not know.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
So Tati, it's your history check.
Oh my god, I still have exhaustion. Alright, history.
All right. So with a 25, there is a temple to MKL, a small one in Fort Crag. But
And if we were flying on, let's say, Ruzid, how long would it take to get there, max speed?
How far is that?
I can't do that. I don't have my form back.
Yeah, but if you were to be
Those are things we
flying,
can negotiate.
about 3 to 4 days. Top
Oof,
speed,
okay.
concentrated on doing that.
That's a really long time.
Okay, so we're back to teleporting.
Yeah.
Are we? Teleporting might just be completely off the table unless
Well-
we have like Silas do some fey bullshit. We might need
What
another
about
favor.
sanctifying new ground?
Does she
Ooh.
count
Can you-
as a character that has to be willing if we knocked her out and threw her in the bag of holding?
Ooh.
Survive. Well, I don't think
Like,
she
you
needs
can-
air. Actually, I think
You have
Vampire
air for a couple
Saphira
minutes. It
doesn't-
says.
I don't think she even needs it though.
Yeah.
Still, teleports one round, 10 minutes of air regardless for one person. So that's a
fair question.
What if we put her? Yeah, we could put her in the bag, and then the bag is an object, and Saphira's not with us. Saphira is in a dimensional pocket on another plane, and then it's the entrance to the dimensional pocket. I think you found the answer.
Oh, what about
Wait, so we
what about
stuff her in the bag of
sanctifying-
holding and then teleport?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly.
I
what
can
we
do that.
If we turn Basaba's temple into a temple of MKL, or a place nearby into a temple of MKL, we wouldn't have to travel.
How would you do that?
Yeah, how?
Crystal did it. Crystal sanctified ground before.
Yeah, but no offense, Toddy, but like, Crystal's cleric training was probably far surpasses yours.
It does, but Crystal's here, and we can talk to her.
I guess, but I mean, she doesn't. Does she worship Dimkill? I don't remember. I
No.
thought she didn't.
No, but do you remember when she sanctified the land and she did?
She did.
She used
It's just I
flowers.
don't.
Well, no, I mean she used flowers because her god was of nature, but she used magic influenced by the rest of us when she did it.
Ah, I see your point. Well, I guess it's up to Crystal then. You have to ask him.
I mean, Crystal's one option. I don't think you have to be a full, like 12th level cleric to sanctify ground necessarily. People get along in life without it and still manage to connect with the gods.
Oh yeah,
there
but
might be some options, especially if all of us, were working together.
it's possible. I can see it.
I think that in the time that we've traveled together, everyone here has worked and lived in a way that does reflect the desires of MKL, and in your own ways of living life have worshipped them. And so if all of us were going to pray or try to sanctify ground or put effort into it, I don't think we would be ignored.
What if you pray to a different god?
Is
mean,
your
what about
god a jealous god?
There's multiple gods out there, and the gods of that support life in the way. I mean, they're not contrary to MKL at all. Only that
no, sorry,
MKL waits.
I feel like there's
I
a
was
lot of
asking-
non-exclusive gods.
I'm asking Saison, is your god exclusive? Is that off limits? Because I'm not especially religious, but I would be happy to prostrate myself before MKL if I thought it would bring our friend back.
I mean, they're one to take the hits as they come, dare I say. So I don't think they'd be the most offended in a situation like this.
It's also not a terrible idea to involve the other gods out there. Masaba lost her place already.
I see. I guess there's an incentive to keep the god count low.
I'm not sure that's what. Anyway, I'm certainly open to the idea, and I think would there be any preparations that you would need to make before such an option became available to us?
Yeah, like a lot. Like I would probably want to talk to Crystal, and if possible, just get some rest because I think that's a higher level magic than I'm familiar with casting. I would probably need all of you to get in touch with. I think a lot of people misunderstand what MKL wants, but he or she or they just want you to live your lives to the fullest, which is how this party has lived. And so remembering all of the moments of your life are the biggest gifts you can give to MKL sometimes. But it does take effort, and you have to focus on it, and we would all need to prepare, I think.
Do you think MKL might not like the idea of having a temple built so in such close proximity to Mosaba's temple?
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe he wouldn't prefer stairs also.
So we need to build the staircase.
I mean, a lot of those temple features and signifiers, they do stem more from the material plane than from MKL themselves. So I don't think all of them are necessary all the time, but
maybe we could do like a symbolic staircase, like a 2D flat painting of one.
Tati, do you want to speak with Crystal and see if she agrees this is something that is feasible for us to do? Because otherwise, it seems like maybe we should look into teleporting. Because
I think we should look into all options.
Oh, I think it's a good thing
all
to consider.
options.
But I'm wondering if we should choose this as our first choice if we don't even know if MKL's going to go for it.
You know, we do have a Fae friend in the room. If you look past like the 4 groups of people eating hors d'oeuvres up there.
Oh, there's one guy right next to me. I was not looking in that direction.
We could just ask him to look at both scenarios and, you know, which one works out better. The scenario where we teleport her and the scenario where we just make a temple.
So let's say we have a look at those 2 futures. We regain hit points. We try and regain a couple spell slots if people need them.
Yeah, we want a full short rest. All of us should have all of our hit dice, I think, because I don't think we've taken short rests.
Correct.
Yeah, so we should be able to get back to full on, or very close to full with just a short rest.
Did we ever use that candle of the hearth?
Yeah, and we pulled one out of the hat as well, so we're not going to be able to play that trick again. Bryn needs spell slots, Sazin needs spell slots, Oshin needs spell slots, Malachi gets spell slots back on a short rest. Ruzit, how crucial are spell slots for you?
Well, I can cast haste.
Okay, and your concentration is very difficult to break.
Correct.
It's another concentration slot that the party can use.
Okay.
Coin basically gets back to full on a short rest. I think Tati, do you have any cleric levels right now?
Let me double check. Yeah, totally. Hold on, wait. Let me triple check. Yeah, for sure.
I think we've got one, right?
Okay.
I even have a spell slot.
Oh, nice.
Fucking dope.
So I feel like our hope is short rest, 2 peeks into the future, some in whatever items or time spell slots for 3 people.
Real quick, what are the purposes of the peeks into the future? Is that for which mode of transporting Saphira to a temple is best?
It's for minimizing our chance of failure by identifying what seems to work better.
But specifically, it's referring to the 2 different modes of getting Saphira to a temple of MKL?
In this instance, it's making sure the create a temple thing isn't a dud.
Yeah, it's teleportation versus create a temple.
Okay, but that is, I just want to clarify what favors we're asking of Silas. Those the two. Okay, so we're gonna at least 1 favor for supplies, probably 2 to be safe. 2 more favors for peeks into the future,
I can give
And-
them the wine for supplies, and then 2 favors for each of these peaks. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt to go for 4. You know, just double up, because he said...
Alternatively, we could also ask to try to peek into the future which our best odds of restoring Saphira exist. I don't know exactly how his powers work, but it doesn't hurt to ask that versus something else.
If he agrees to it, then he's taking on more work for less payoff. But I mean...
Exactly.
feels-
With a Fae, you always want
I'm not
to
trying
be...
to screw Silas over. He's kind of a friend. But if that's like his price...
I mean, I don't think he's
That's
gonna
not-
screw us either, but a deal's a deal, and why would you give more when you have the chance to give less, right, Coin?
Yeah. Also, if he's not gonna let me just give him lunch, like, it's a lot more work to do the favor thing, so... I'll try to
That's it.
min-max it.
To if we're knocking her out and then potentially teleporting her, like if we went that route, are we gonna
Yeah.
try and like long rest beforehand? Because as is, I don't have any teleport slots.
That's why we need to get you more slots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
I'm-
mana potions from as part of this plan. So we trade 2 favors to Silas for liberal use of his supplies. We promise 2 more favors for Silas in exchange for 2 peeks into the future. Possibly, we might be able to finagle that down to 1, but for now we're thinking it probably assume it's 2. And then Tati is thinking of talking to Crystal, and that might require additional favors from her or not. We'll see. Anyway, 1 favor can be the wine and 1 favor can be the phylactery. So that means between us, we're gonna owe Silas 2 favors. Coin
We
is
can also
offered
offer
1.
the Stone of Chronicles. He said
Coin
that
has
in
offered as many
memories.
favors as needed, to be
Let's
clear.
see what we can get away with offering. I'm happy to give favors. I'm happy to give items we have or things we can do. What do people feel are the things we should offer last?
Well, I'm
How much?
particularly attached to the Stone of Chronicles, but I'd rather have Saphira back.
Does he really like any of you guys here, or like how much does he like partying? Because that's the only thing I
Crystal
know about
likes
him.
us better.
He likes a former party member, which is I think we're sort of like in-laws, or like we're like the brothers and sisters-in-laws.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bryn actually, this may or may not be relevant. Silas actually owes Bryn an unresolved favor, which is that at some indeterminate point in the future, after Pitney Bones is dealt with, Bryn would like to come back to the Feywild and study the Chrononacrum and time magic. And it's possible that a favor from Bryn might be appealing, just because Bryn's already going to be here at some point in the future.
That's true. He does have
yeah.
roots with you now.
That's why I was going to offer. Yeah, but
Oh,
Slightly
that's
better
good.
than
I was
anyone.
just gonna offer at first because I know that Sizen said when he was here last, he kept him to party for a year. So I could have just made one of us to stay and party with him as an offer.
I mean,
Fair.
Silas might find it interesting to get a favor from Silas or Oshin, just on the grounds of, like, he already has connections with all of us. Why not
do you mean
expand the
a
network?
favor from Seisin or Oshin?
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed. But yeah, from Seizen
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Oshin.
I'm
Because you
happy
guys
to
have
offer
not...
a favor and also have ideas of things that could be intriguing.
Yeah, I just meant more so like he might be intrigued by you two because he doesn't know you as well, and Malachi too. But I don't know if Malachi's like in the headspace to be giving up favors to a Fae currently.
I feel like Malachi's freaking out right now.
I feel like Malachi's
Malachi's-
signed up for a lot
What did I
less than
get
what they're
involved
into
in?
right now.
He's known us collectively for like less than an hour.
Yeah.
And he's since in the hour that he's known us, he's been teleported to a temple of Nosaba, witnessed the birth of the next avatar of the blood god, and is then escaped to the Feywild and been personally introduced to the Lord of Time.
In a wild hour.
Can I, really quick, the only
Easily the strangest people I've ever met.
And for the record, Crystal says hi.
Aw.
Hey,
Can we just hear from like a back room in the Blue Palace? Just hi guys.
unfortunately, she's unavailable at the moment.
Darn.
Understandable. Don't worry, I'm staring at like straight pink, so there's
Were you gonna say
plenty in
something,
mind.
Oh, I was just gonna joke that I hadn't been chiming in at all, even while listening to you guys wonder if you could get a bunch of stuff that I know the answers to, and I know if I have. But I will interrupt briefly just to say that sometimes you talk about Silas like he's a person, and sometimes you talk about Silas the way I've heard people talk about like a mountain lion, and that's very flattering to me.
It's like you got just enough logic to bargain with, but just enough raw instinct that you don't really know what's going to happen.
That's a good read.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. Yeah.
Okay, so in summary, we have 2 peeks into the future, one of which should be, if we can get it, a loose look into the future of our best timeline of restoring Saphira. Enough resources for everybody to heal, which is to say a short rest. Some amount of spell slots for approximately 3 people, one of which has to be enough for 1 person to teleport. If that's what the future shows, correct?
Yeah, which that roll went bad last time.
Which, well, to be fair though, we should first look into the future before we go for that, because maybe we find out teleporting is not our best route.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like it.
Also, I think that's the plan for right now, but when we go back, is there any plan to meet up with Tati?
Oh, she would be.
Oh yeah.
Still
damn,
arrested.
Tommy.
Let's ask Silas about that. And Coin's gonna turn his head with Silas.
And do you like make eye contact like we're ready to talk again?
He's doing like a nod, but like a very weird nod that you wouldn't expect. Like he's going out of his way to not just do a normal down nod. Like he's almost like rocking his head in a
He's
mosh.
giving
Like a
you eyes
person
across the
trying
bar.
to, like when you watch somebody learning how to wink for the first time.
Yeah, it's not subtle at all, but he's trying to like flag
Not
you down
trigger
for the
the rest
party.
of the party.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you'll feel it as much as you hear it. You kind of hear it reverberate off the walls as well. You just hear a sigh from Silas, not like disgruntled, just a sigh as he's moving from one thing to the next, and it floods the room, and the whole party efficiently, not quietly, but efficiently and quickly just moves itself out back to one of the other ballrooms. Yes, he's looking at Coin. And the whole
Alright.
party, right?
So we've narrowed down roughly what we're looking for.
Right?
Anyone else in the party, feel free to cut me off, but Coin's going to start off by saying, so we have a few ideas of where we want to go from here.
Maybe we should start with one thing at a time.
Where I'd like to start it is just regarding peeks into the future.
Sure.
What is your hard price for the if there are multiple things we're trying to look at? Obviously, favors are on the table. We have the physical goods.
Yeah, each the wine could get you 1 vision, or no, the wine with several potions. The favor can get you 1 vision, like going to run an errand for me, or deliver a message, or perhaps acquire an item that I'm interested in. That would get you 1 vision.
1 favor from Coin, 1 favor from me, separate ones, which we can use all of our resources to bring to bear. Is that worth 2 visions?
I don't know. What do you do that's interesting?
A fair question. I keep people alive.
He's very good at that.
We all have like 1 HP. That's not gonna.
Yeah.
Well, because he kept us alive. I mean,
I'm gonna stand up straighter a little bit as my wounds are literally closing in front of your eyes, just very slowly. I keep people alive. Everyone has 1 health, which is to say not 0.
Which, yeah, I mean, I think. Go ahead.
He wasn't lying. I'm gonna be like, watch this, and I'm gonna throw a book at Ruzid, and then it's gonna swerve and hit Sison.
Unfortunately, not here.
Sorry, Ruzid.
So the book just
The
hits
book
Ruzid and falls
hits
to the floor.
Ruzid.
what's that for?
And Sison,
Well,
you are
Sison.
currently not regenerating hit points, and you don't know why.
Damn, wait, that's crazy. Well, in most
kind of talked about
situations,
this.
look, I might not be the person to kill everyone out there for you. I might not be the person to go undercover and steal something for you. But if you need protection, if you need to keep somebody else safe, if you need to get somebody else out of a dangerous situation, I can do it, and I will do it. If you need someone else from the other situations, I'll try, and I'll do my best. But at some things I excel, and other things I'll do my best shot.
I'm sold. I mean, I assume I assume it's clear to Silas that you're level 16 or whatever level you guys are at these days, and I think Silas is also one to have come to the conclusion himself. Like, I don't think you needed to point out to him, like, it was very funny to note that everybody is very beat up. Like, that is hilarious, but he, 1 HP is not 0 HP. They are alive. I'm thinking of the classic image of the jet, like from World War II, that has all the red dots on it.
Oh yeah, the survivorship bias.
Thank you. But yeah, so no, I'm sold. I assume Eric wouldn't mind. There are times that I've been planning on, occasionally, depending on what's said, like asking for an actual persuasion check. But I think I'm just sold on the argument. And I'll take a favor.
Okay.
From Sizen as well. So those are 2 visions, and then we can trade other things for potions or scrolls or the like.
Excellent.
Let's start with the visions, then figure out where we want to go from there,
This will affect future deals, so maybe we take it one step at a time.
Also, I don't think this was said explicitly. Silas, we want to go back after a short rest. We do think that we're capable of taking Saphira head on. So yeah, that's the plan. Is if you can tell us what's the best way to separate Masaba from Saphira, with this moment of portent that you are capable of, that is where we're headed with this. If it wasn't obvious.
So the question is, hang on, just to clarify, can you phrase the question?
Oh no, there's not a question. I'm just saying that we might not have said it for us to go back.
Let's just start off with this. We want 2 visions. One of a future where we catch Saphira and then teleport her to the nearest temple of Mkael. What the success would appear to be in that vision. The second vision would be one where we capture her and then we...
Wait, I think the second one should be, can you look into the future and see what is our most likely route to restoring to Saphira to the way she was, removing Masaba from her and bringing her back to the way that she was before that.
I mean, if you can do it at that level, then
might as well ask.
Then do that.
Our understanding is that Silas can look into a possible future, but we have to tell him.
He's not omnipotent per se. We do need to narrow it for him, I think.
In terms of cause and effect, we need to tell him a cause, and then he tells us an effect. We can't pick an effect, and then he tells us he prescribes a route to get there. At least that was my interpretation. That may not be accurate.
Gotcha. I didn't know any of that. I just wanted to be sure if it was the other way, we at least asked that first.
Does anybody ask me?
I mean, I'm going to ask the other way. I'm going to ask, can you give us the route that is most likely to separate Saphira from Masaba and restore her to the way she was before?
I'll actually extend this to you, Damon. The 2 people who have given you favors have given you 2 different visions to find, essentially.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Then I have to. Then all right. Then Ken, do you mind, Eric, if I ask for a persuasion check here in this moment from Sizen for this particular phrasing?
I would like to get it written down, please, just so that I'm clear on what we are asking.
Oh, damn, that's vital. Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. I love the fact
Making
that
the lawyer write it down.
I didn't say it, but yes, I love the fact that we're getting the lawyer to write down the request with the fey creature.
I worked 12 hours straight and I was 5 glasses of wine in, and now you're asking me for this, you bastard.
Jason, as your co-counsel, I would respectfully advise that we choose the path where we give up 2 favors for the 2 visions we want, rather than try and finagle. Rather than try and
feel
finagle.
Like he's already asked it.
All right.
I feel like he's already asked it, and we're just getting the phrasing down.
I am writing the phrasing now. Feel free to carry on a little bit as I take a second.
I can write out the phrasing of coins unless
Yes,
we
please.
want to assume Sazin had cut him up. But it did. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I have it written.
You have it written? Let's get yours down. Let's see what you got.
Let me just double check. I don't want to like misspell teleport.
Misspell teleport. Wait, you want to teleport? Okay.
Teleport.
To be fair, if anyone was going to sell a port, it would be coin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well
exactly.
that's after all this goes down.
We just end up selling a port instead of teleporting.
Interesting.
I am paraphrasing a little bit what was said, but it is to the effect of if we teleport her after capturing her, will that succeed in, casting out Mosaba and still having... Technically, he didn't bring in the part about Crystal, bringing Sapira back.
Well, that's totally unrelated, because that's that would be a favor from Crystal, and also
Right.
If this method, if Sazin sees us not being successful, then we'd have another bridge to cross.
I guess it doesn't matter, because if it's a real future, we can operate on the assumption we'll do that anyways. Like, if we're gonna teleport, we're gonna make sure we can bring Sapira back. So I don't think we have to tell Silas that for him to see it. Also, I don't know if it matters, but Coin has Hand of Ultimate Mercy now, so assuming she doesn't literally explode, she just sort of dies, there's a scenario where Coin can bring her back at the Temple of MKL.
I mean, I thought she literally is gonna turn into goo, so that might be hard.
That might be a problem.
You've been granted inspiration by Captain Gusgus.
It doesn't. The ability doesn't say much about what's possible. It just says touch the corpse. I guess it really is what is really a corpse at that point.
It doesn't say how intact the corpse has to be.
Well, because some of the other spells do make more specifications, like talking. Like I think Raise Dead has some more details, but I don't. This isn't Raise Dead, so I don't know.
Yeah, Bruiser, did you get the inspiration?
Oh, shoot. Yep.
From
I'm
Captain
marked
Gusgus.
Nice. Thank you.
My just gut interpretation of the Hand of Ultimate Mercy was way different.
What do you mean?
I mean, when you said that phrase, I was like, oh, I bet I know what that is.
You thought of it as a coup de grace, right?
Coup de grace, yeah.
Yeah. She's going to MKL and she's not coming back.
Exactly, yeah.
No, it's not that.
I would have thought the same thing.
See, that's what zealots say, Tati.
I mean, they say a lot of things. I don't know why you bring it up.
Oh,
Those guys are weird.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to that.
All right, so we're going to go with Coin's request first. All right.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
fine. It was chronologically the first ask anyway.
Well, I don't know what my abilities are here at this. Obviously the future stuff is
here's the fun
is
part.
beyond the character sheet. So
the
what
only
do
person
I
who
roll
gets to
dice?
see the vision is you.
Okay.
So I'm going to show Silas the vision.
I don't even have to roll for it. You guys, I do recommend at any point, if it's available to you, becoming an archfey. There really are perks. There's wine. There's
I'll get
visions
right
of
on
the
that.
future.
Coin
Oh,
as
wow.
an archfey sounds
Appreciate the tip.
amazing. I hope Coin as an archfey is just a giant toad, like truly massive.
Great toad.
He gets mistaken for a mountain.
So there you go.
Okay. Hang on. Let me add one question.
He'd love to be like the archfey of fortune or some.
And I think what we do is we
thing.
do a description of this, almost like a cinematic here, where you describe what we're seeing. So we're going to start it off there. And
Yeah. Okay. I would see. Okay, I'll describe to Coin a temple. It is white with red accents, domed top. I don't know if that's actually marble. Damon, don't know. But, Silas, who's sort of stuck up about that thing and grew up in a palace probably and lives in one now, probably knows. And he'll say that I think you see his face kind of curl just briefly in not disgust, that's way too strong, but just a little bit of distaste of as he's seeing particularly good energy radiate from it, just a little too holy, a little too divine for his taste, maybe. But he that sees Saphira. She looks different now. Stepping out from the temple, she's at the top of the steps where I see her. And from where I'm standing, and he's sitting in a pink throne, from where I'm standing, she is free of Masaba's influence.
Wow. That's pretty
And she's got
straightforward.
She's got a bit of a new look. I don't know what she looks like when she's fighting you. She looks different than when I last saw her.
Is it red hair now?
There's definitely red.
Are you sure Masaba's out of her?
Yeah, you said she looks free of Masaba's influence. How can you tell?
Oh, I mean that I'm not. I assume, Eric, that I don't even question that. That's just sort of a fade detect magic at will. I can tell. I'm looking at her and I can tell.
Yeah.
Is my guess there. And she's standing next to what I presume to be a cleric. He's in these ornate white robes, gold sort of buckles and red belt, red accents. He's got a mask. Looks very formidable. Very confident in his posture.
So, should we go ahead and allow them to see what you've been looking at?
I was going to say, can I use illusion magic to sort of project it onto the screen for them?
I believe Silas has illusion magic, right?
I do, yeah.
I hope you can, because Coin's been drawing this, and the idea that you just show the actual thing is really after working this hard.
All right.
What the?
Oh, it's pretty close.
Wait, do we recognize that guy?
You
Nope.
do, Tati. He's the cleric of MKL at Nausha.
Is he the... Wait, is he... I'm just trying to remember. Is he the one with the kids that in the temple that I was supporting?
Yes.
And he's definitely not that asshat who's a reverend of him.
No.
All right.
He's not the asshat. He's not priest asshat.
Just okay. They wear masks sometimes. It's not always easy to tell.
Their masks are unique.
They are, yep.
All right. Enough of that vision.
Oh, I drew them on the wrong side of each other. Dang it.
Yeah, you should really fix that. Really help us.
I would love to see this art, by the way. Just saying.
Oh,
was about to say
it's on
that.
screen. It's on
He's
screen.
drawn
It's
it on
about
the
Coin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is on the screen there.
It's really small.
We're gonna zoom in there. Look at this. It's pretty
The
close.
right
man.
one is Saphira, and the left one is the priest guy.
Pretty good. That's pretty dang
Thank
close. Good job.
Coin's currently
Gain inspiration.
Oh hell yeah. Coin is currently inking out the priest so we can draw him on the correct side of Saphira. Like, not on that side.
Are we waiting on Sizen's ask now?
Oh
yes,
shit! All right.
I'm sure it's a page and a half.
I've been reworking constantly. It's ugly. Whatever. I'll throw it in. It's not pretty.
Oh,
No.
This is funny.
Did you use punctuation?
Brevity, great brevity.
Oh.
Take a breath, man. Take a breath.
I'm over here rewriting. It has holes I see already. It's fine.
Can I get a red line?
I'm not frantically messaging Eric. Yeah, it's not at all.
This is the last time I go out for drinks before this.
I like the idea that
Amazing.
Sazin is so deeply thorough, and Coin's just like, oh, just show me the temple.
Well, the thing is, he also grew up in the Feywild, so he knows he needs to be better. But it's been so many years since he's been there. This also fits, where it's like, damn,
pretty
like he
valid.
knows he needs to be better than this.
Mm.
No, it's a character.
Yeah. I'm going to send Silas's brain a message.
Silas's brain.
Alice is being influenced by mysterious forces.
Also,
Silas, before you do whatever you do, I want you to think about this. You know what I'm getting at. We made it real. I'll give my best if you give your best. I want you to think about it.
No, I get it. It's what's funny is I'm actually being probably chiller than you think I am, and just hanging on to things that I think are funny and less things that I think would fuck you over.
yeah.
Nonetheless, I just wanted to mention, Eric, I will do what you said, but also just wanted to give you the context for that's why I was asking for it in the first place. Okay, so let's finish this because I only got halfway through before I started frantically messaging him about
God, yeah.
For the record, I love this, but man, that is full of holes.
Oh, it has so many holes. It has so. Don't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will. Yeah, that's fine. They're not possible. I do like it, and I wish I could have a bit of fun with it, and it would have been too cruel. It would have just mostly been silly. I mean, maybe a touch cruel, but mostly silly. But I can't do that. Yeah. However, I do know what you mean. Did I miss before we started displaying abilities? Did you roll the persuasion check from earlier?
Not yet.
Oh, I did not. Let me roll that. I do not currently have any bonuses, but that's okay. We'll just. Oh, that accidentally rolled with advantage.
No, that's fine. I was gonna also say that like I have both found the argument for your services as a protective warrior and just that whole thing with this phrasing of this attempt like charming. Admittedly in a way that's probably a touch condescending, but nonetheless I was going to ask if you could have advantage on the roll as a result of it.
Yeah.
It should be condescending.
I'm fine.
Great. On a 29, I will also say like, hey, I do know what you're asking. Let me tell you as a favor, probably the only free thing you'll get here today besides the food and drink. You don't want to ask me a question that open-ended. Bryn's in some cases, Bryn's right that that's beyond my capabilities. In other cases, I'm probably chiller about phrasing and legalities, wording than most Fae you know, and most of the Fae you don't. But even I would not answer a what's the best thing to do type of question without a you should be wise type of answer. So you don't want to ask me a question on open-ended.
Oh, Susan would do very dark things to make this happen. But separately, he's gonna go very pale as he realizes it's been so long since he's been in the Feywild, and he knows he should know better, and just disappointment in himself. He's like, thank you. Yeah, you're right.
That's why Eric was like, when I told Eric, I was like, ask me something as open-ended as like, what's the best thing to do? And they don't like pass a check. I am going to say something like, you should be smart about it. Like, I can't, for the most part, I am chill about the phrasing. I've been messaging Eric, like, I don't feel like being a dick about that. I think that works. I think that's fine. I'm here to have fun. But with that one, I would have been like, I don't know, do the smart thing.
To be fair, the easy counter to that, though.
Just for the
The
fun of
easy
it,
counter to that
I'm
would
doing this
be
lovely thing where I'm going to actually put the timestamp of this. So That was 30 minutes ago that he said it.
I did. There you go. Copied and pasted 30 minutes ago.
To be fair, the easy counter to that is in Seizen's sole discretion. That's not enough detail.
Oh,
However,
that's true.
there's still
My
other holes.
proposal to Eric was that the only way I can know what your sole discretion is was to my only exploit to the wording I did ask for, just for fuckery, was how do I know what your sole discretion is if I don't use a little telepathy to get into your mind? How would I know? I mean, come on, if you want me to fulfill your request to the true merits of the request, how do I know what you would decide is relevant? Unless I take a little look at what you think is relevant. Just a little look.
To Seizen's credit, he doesn't know like the limits Silas has the same way a lot of the other party members. Like Coin knows Silas kind of needs a bit of, like the Bloodhound needs a scent first, for lack of a better metaphor.
But all of that aside, especially in the 29, I am happy to just tell you for free. Like, yeah, I can't do that one, but if you give me something else more specific that you want to know, I am more than game to. Like, you don't need to get crazy with the wording. Just more narrow in your request, and I won't be a dick about the wording.
I think we could just ask him about the other alternative plan. He says to Seizen.
All right, Silas, we're gonna be upfront, honest, straightforward with each other. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit.
At least two of those three things for sure.
Could you specify which two?
I could.
Will
Go
you?
On. Go on.
Kind of missed it. I'm not gonna lie. I missed the Feywild.
Every bullet so far.
We should go back, everyone. Anyway, Silas, in treating you as I am from a position of lower power and giving you the ability to give us the answers as you choose, as you see fit, will you show? No, not will you. Show us, describe to us, and tell us the future in which we attempt to create a new holy ground to any of the gods to help purge Saphira's connection with Mosaba. Show us the one that works the best, which succeeds, which has the highest likelihood of succeeding, as you can understand it.
I don't know as much about the last part, but at least Eric, like, I just don't know if it's within his capabilities, but at least Eric, I like the first, I do want to look into some futures where they try that. Give me the, god or two that you're most likely to try that with, and that'll help me out. But I find the question very interesting. So if Silas has to burn some sorcery points or anything to try and, make sure they get a good answer, I think that question sparking his curiosity is what's going to get him to just look harder into it. So yeah, is there a god or two that is that you're most likely to try that plan with?
The most likely would be Imkale and Ois.
Okay.
Take a look, Eric?
Yeah. We're gonna take a look. But we're gonna do something weird because based off of the exact prompt here, we're going to show this. And I'm going to show Silas this first. We're gonna have a description that we will show you guys in a moment, but it's fun to have him describe what he's seeing.
6 graves.
Slightly different architectural style, though there are some similarities. I am seeing I would say more like a palace complex or temple complex than just a temple or palace itself. There are mountains nearby. That climate seems normally temperate, but this area can only be described as lush. There is plenty of green. It's like a little oasis. Full, I assume it's like simply like hemorrhaging divine energy. Like I assume it's this is a very divine place, Eric. Is that fair to say?
I'm going to let you read into it as you so choose. And then I'm going to go ahead and show this.
Yeah.
Are we given any details on how we can get to that point?
No.
I don't think I would be able to do that per se. I see Saphira. Is she in the same state? This is the same state I saw her in,
This
cosmically, say
this
last
one,
time.
she is still, her eyes are blood red at the moment.
I do see two people that I don't think I recognize. I think full Elven, although maybe that's half Elven.
That's up to you to make your interpretation.
Honestly, I think it's been long enough that he was in the material plane. I think I'd say half. To a man and a woman, similarly like ornate and regal garb, although this feels a little less overtly priestly. Though there's plenty of jewels. They are standing near her, but Saphira and two people we don't know, or that I don't know, are standing in the temple complex. She appears still under some influence I haven't seen before.
Oh, with that nice description, we're going to show the party and wait for the cussing.
So I know who those people are, but not.
Why is that one guy cross-eyed?
There's a reason.
It was after he took a bagel to the face, and
there's like a little flat. He's still recovered from the bagel. I was gonna say this
you're
is
not
a
far
fly.
off there.
Well, Zazen doesn't know who these people are.
I like this vision.
What is this? Like, does anyone recognize these people?
Like out of character, yes, but like my character would have no idea who they are.
They look very fancy.
I thought you were saying your character recognized him, but was just staying silent about it. I was intriguing.
No, they're related to another campaign. That's
Gotcha.
That would make sense. I don't recognize them. I think in or out of character.
Does Saphira seem significantly more evil in this vision than the other one?
Yes.
I am noting. Yes, there's an energy about her that is not
right.
It's.
Whoa. Okay, so teleporting it is everyone.
I agree. Yeah.
I thought Tati's idea was really cool. I was kind of looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, listen, Tati, great idea. I love it. We'll try that later.
I mean, if anyone wants to revisit Dropper in the Ocean, I'm here for that too.
That's the beautiful thing about later. You can just keep promising things, and if you die, sometimes you don't have to deliver.
Hey, Tati, if you want to negotiate another deal with Silas to get a vision of the dropping Saphira in the ocean.
I don't need a vision of any of these things. I already have these visions. They're in my head and they're crystal clear. We would have the most fun going into the future. Picking up Saphira already resolved.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to open that bottle of wine.
Okay.
All right then. In that case, let's.
As if Silas doesn't have a corkscrew.
Has enough time passed while Silas is defining the future? Has enough time passed to constitute a short rest, or do we still need to?
Unfortunately, time hasn't passed at all.
Oh, you guys needed a short rest. See, I didn't know that you guys said instead of getting anything, you wanted to talk and like wait. So everything started on pause.
I said explicitly that the plan was to take a short rest and then go back and rescue Saphira.
Yep.
Right, but I didn't know that part had started.
Coin said, "Let's take this one at a time."
Yeah.
Everybody was being very careful about what they committed to and when, and the default here is that things are on pause, so I didn't unpause them.
You're right, Silas, you're right. So let's pop open this bottle of wine and get a quick rest, and then keep moving from there.
Love that idea. So who drinks and who eats as everybody's been, hanging out?
I'm really hungry.
I'll do both as long as they don't have meat in either of them.
I'll drink you under the table, buddy.
Shane, can you teleport now, Sean?
Like that.
Maybe now's not the time to get drunk, everybody. Just thinking ahead.
Can you
No, I
get
think
the
we should have a
Notia,
contest, Silas. Which, if you get drunk before me, free stuff.
I don't want to play that game.
This game will never end.
Do.
Coin, you are guaranteed gonna lose that.
I feel like you guys are forgetting a
I
pivotal.
feel like you're
detail about my
biologically
character.
immune and I'm magically immune, and we're just gonna drink an entire fucking.
Wait, actually, sorry, it is guaranteed to be a stalemate.
Silas, the one person in the room who remembers I can't get drunk, and he doesn't even know I can't get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You were here for years. Most of you guys just don't remember.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
My memory is a little less hazy than everyone else.
But yeah, does anybody not eat or drink? Does anybody not do both?
I think Bryn is going to decline alcohol, but
Yeah,
we'll
I
take
would as
water
well.
or another non-alcoholic beverage. Although
For sure.
it'd probably
Does anybody not take anything at all?
Not a lot
Does
of
everybody
us
at least
taking
take
it.
something?
Is there any reason, Faye speaking, that I should be thinking I shouldn't be eating anything here?
Well, an insight check.
We like to have a good time.
No, come on, get
Roll an
real.
insight
Was it
check as well, 'cause I have
21?
no idea.
Malachi, thank you.
Amazing, Malachi.
Wait, Saphir was
One
here?
of us.
Malachi, sorry, is there any reason why they should not eat or drink? And I do need an honest answer, Silas.
Yeah, no. I think on the 21 insight you can read that Silas is so he's an archfey of hedonism, yes, but partying too. Like hospitality is a pretty big part of his domain as well, like, or at least what he does here. So while I think there are plenty of Fey and plenty of places in the Feywild where you have to be extremely careful, I think here you have to be careful sometimes. Certainly I might offer drinks or food that keep you partying here for a few years and then send you back. More likely to do that when I have a better control over time than I do right now. No, right now I'm trying to be a good host.
As I understand that, as a sign of respect, I'm gonna bring out a pouch of, I think I have some hard elven liquor. Not pouch, like a wine flask type vibe. And I'll kind of pass that over to you in offering and say, each of us shall have a drink, perhaps?
Sure. Yes. I don't think I don't think I have to do anything that would be a rude way of checking it. I don't think bad things can happen to me from drinking this wine while I'm literally sitting on my throne. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely try.
I'll fucking drink.
Perfect. Everybody who drinks and eats and hangs out and actually partakes in the hospitality has advantage on their next death saving throw.
Oh, nice.
During the short rest, Ruse is gonna unattune from the animated shield and attune to the ring of protection in the bag of holding. And then also ask, hey, anyone know where my shield is? I think I gave it to someone.
Well, are we short resting yet, or is that not? I think Silas has to.
Eric, can I turn time? Is that still something I can do? Because we're here in the Blue Palace, I can still just unpause pretty easily.
If they choose to unpause time, you may do so.
You guys don't want to go
Yes.
shopping for potions before that?
We should probably go shopping first.
We can. I assume that can that happen simultaneously? Just conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Potion
fine.
swapping
Okay,
can
hang
happen.
on,
during the short
slow down a second. From the first conversation we had, I was under the impression that we could short rest here without passing any time in the real world. But if we took a long rest here, then some time might sort of leak out into the material plane. Silas, if we take a short rest here, is that also going to unpause time in the material plane?
I don't think so, right? I think you just meant, Eric, you just meant pass time here, in this room, right? They get a short rest for free, but not anything longer than that? Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
Basically,
so I
you're
can
going
hold on
pass
to
a
the-
certain amount of time, but it is so
Yeah, I can-
minuscule that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, so Silas's
All right.
hold on the pause in the, the quote, the real world is going to last for about an hour. And then in an hour from when I hit unpause, we'll say. And then after your short rest, you've got to go back.
That makes sense.
Cool. Yeah, because Bryn is also going to be swapping around some items because the Chrononacrum key and the walking stick of Zarud are spent. So, Bryn is going to don his null skin cloak of protection.
I won't swap it if I can't find my
Staff of
+1
healing.
shield, but I don't see it in the bag. But I swear it has to be in the party somewhere because I definitely would not have thrown that away. If it's not in the bag, it should be. If no one else in the party has it, I might have given it to Sison, but I'm not sure.
I may not have been here when you gave it to me. It's possible. I would have definitely held on to it. Or
Do you have a +1 shield in your inventory?
No, I definitely never picked that up.
It should be in the bag. I don't know
how that. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this one,
I mean,
but
we wouldn't have lost the shield. That's a pretty noticeable item.
that would be kind of weird.
Well, is it possible that it's mine? Because I have a +1 shield equipped that I have had for a very long time.
No, because it was Ruse's shield. Like Ruse had put away his shield. I thought presumably in the bag, or I thought maybe to someone else, and then equip the animated shield. But I'm gonna unequip the animated shield and bring back the +1 shield, and then put on the ring of protection. That's always been the plan. Like if I lose dragon form.
I think we should just assume you were holding it, to be honest.
I mean, if no one else in the party has it and it's not in the bag of holding, we haven't duplicated it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Eric has anything to say.
As far as the +1 shield, yeah, you will find it. I have not stolen it. It should be in one of the bags. I think you just have a clerical error.
Okay.
Cool.
Ruse will equip the +1 shield, put on the ring of protection, and then put the animated shield back in the bag of holding. And yeah, the ring was actually marked in the bag of holding, so I'll take that out.
Okay. Should we all take the quick short rest in terms of rolling hit dice or something, and then negotiate from there?
Sure.
If you want,
yeah.
if you want to do this, is a little cheap, but I do have 6 key points. I could use them to heal people and then short rest and get them back.
I would appreciate the healing because I've got a lot of hit points, and
that's why
I don't fully heal.
That's why I bring it up, just to save you some hit dice. So Coin's gonna come over here. Do you want me to just like throw them all on Sazin?
I'd say
I
between.
do like watching you slap him.
I could like bongo drum all 3 of them. I can hit each of you twice, and I couldn't really. Well, I could hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could give each of you 1 essentially, but I don't know how.
Well, the thing is, if we're going by likelihood of hit point dice healing people, I have the tough feat, which makes it less likely I'll fully heal.
Okay, I could give 1, 2, 3.
But you can give him mine as well. I feel like the plan will require Saizen and Ruza being closest to Saphira, so they should get the most.
Okay, I could give 3 to Saizen, 2 to Ruzid, and then 1 to Bryn, I guess.
I think Saizen has extra hit points because of the tough feature, correct?
Correct. So I won't get those from hit dice.
Most of us, our average, if we expend all of our hit dice on average, that's equal to our full HP. But for Saizen, it's equal to half his HP, or I think because he gets like double hit points or something.
How
so
about
I think
this?
Saizen needs the extra help more than anybody
Saizen,
else.
we're gonna do this like getting pepper at a restaurant. You just say when, and I'll stop. All right? So,
in that case, Saizen's gonna say when immediately.
you get okay. You get 11.
Okay.
Which isn't that bad actually. Coin. He's gonna say like I still have 5 more of these I can fire off.
Well, in that case, give it to other people.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, Ruzid. He hits you a little too hard. It's not an attack. But it does sting.
It like hurt for a bit, but now it doesn't, so I'm fine with it.
This one's for Bryn.
Thank you.
This one's for Oshin. Malachi, do you feel like you'll need any of these?
No.
Oh, cool. My hit point bar is visible again.
Alright, then.
I missed it.
Let's see, I think I have 2. Wait,
I didn't know you had any of those.
I have 2 left. I'll just throw them on Ruzid and Bryn. Ruzid, Bryn.
Nice.
Tapped for key, but then we'll short rest. And he'll get them back.
Wait, so which was the first with the 10 was Ruzid?
The 11 was from the top. 11.
7 was, right? I thought
11 was Saizen.
Saizen. And then the second to last was Ruzid,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Is that what you said? To 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you're right. I forgot I went Saizen first.
Anyone want some of KO Tom's ointment? That thing I had?
Maybe we should heal and then use that.
I guess you're right.
Alright, short rest and then keep negotiating.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What are all of my hit dice? Um,
All right, I'm full.
R.
1, 2,
It's /R space 12d6 plus 24 plus 5d8 plus 10. Cool. Oh wow! Having exactly 20 hit points means I go exactly back to full with that roll.
Okay, so
So go team.
12d10 plus 5d6 plus 5 times 17.
All right, bardic inspiration back in the house.
That was also
Feeling
almost
good.
exactly. It's just 3 over that much healing.
And Tati, you've been granted inspiration by Monica B. 888.
Thank you. Oh my god, one day I'm gonna figure out how to roll my dice.
I have hit points now. Feels good.
I'm gonna use my channel divinity changing thing to change it to a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Cool.
I have 1 3rd level spell now.
I guess I don't think I'm going to be able to drink any potions that'll restore my spell slots. I assume I won't be able to get that. So I do have a way to get a one 3rd level slot for 2 of my seconds. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm gonna burn 2 2nd level slots to gain 4 sorcery points back, and then spend 5 sorcery points to gain a 3rd level slot back. I think that's well worth it.
I don't want to rush this part for you guys by any means, but like I don't know what potions or items or anything I'm giving you yet. You may want to factor that in.
Yeah, but sorry to keep you here for so long. We really appreciate you being here.
No. I don't need to know. I don't mean it like I'm inconvenient. I'm happy to be here, having fun. I just mean like if you want to figure that part out first before you start deciding like what slots to burn and what ones to buy and who's getting what potions and who's getting what potions, like we're happy. You're welcome to actually figure that. Like we can figure that part out first.
All right. Are we ready to enter phase 2 of the negotiations?
Mm-hmm.
It appears so.
All right. What you got?
All right. We have approximately 3 people that want some amount of spell slots back. 1 person who needs enough to cast teleport. What can you give us?
All right, I got the first part. 3 people who need spell slots. What was the last part? 1 person who.
At minimum, 1 of those 3 needs to be able to cast teleport with those spell slots they're given, which is 7th level.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I certainly can't guarantee you get 7th level. In fact, it would be kind of funny if you didn't. Just sorry, but it would with these dice. If you didn't, it would be a little funny. But I think you can try again and again. I have potions plural. I've got a few.
You mentioned supreme mana potion. We actually the greater mana potion already failed once. He rolled a 6, which if the situation wasn't so desperate, it would be a little funny. I think supreme mana is much less.
I would argue it's now actually funnier, but yes, I do have 3 supreme mana.
Well, I'd say let's have Oshin go first, and we'll make sure he gets his 7th level slot back, plus whatever else he wants. And then Sason and I could probably also use one if we can negotiate that. And then, whatever other potions you have, we're also happy to take a look at. We just want to maximize our chances of getting Saphira back.
Great. I do. I mean, I'm looking at the bottom of the bottle of a 10,000 gold bottle of wine. I already owe you for the wine. So, do you want here?
And see the bottle already.
The supreme mana potions are some of the more expensive ones. Well, I think possibly most expensive ones I have. But for the bottle of wine from Akru, I am happy to give you 2 supreme mana potions.
You sure you can't throw in the third one?
Out of game, man. I did ask for you.
All right. What if
Good man.
I promise to give you 2 of these in the future for the third one?
Hang on a second. Hang on.
No, I know you need to run everything by Eric at the same time. Listen, my parents will brew potions. If we get them the recipe, we get them the ingredients, they can make this. I know that.
Hey, so Sison, you want this ointment, by the way? It'll heal you a little more.
Honestly, I would take it at this point. I feel like every little bit helps us.
Rue's gonna give you this item, and it has 5 doses, so just use them.
Thanks, Ruzid. I really appreciate it.
Finally got to use this thing.
But the wine, okay. But the wine is for sure. It's paid for, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, we're not. That's what it is. So, 2 supreme mana potions.
All right. Why don't you go first, Oshin? Go ahead and drink one of them. We'll make sure that you get good spell slots back.
Nice.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, that's a solid roll. Almost average. But it gets you the 7, which is important.
For the record, if you had rolled 4 ones, I was going to die.
What I feel like you
probably died too.
I think we all would have just died at that point.
Guess I'll die.
Bryn, do you want the second one?
I would not say no, but I do think we should negotiate another one for you, because I think that both of us having spell slots, ample spell slots, means that our chances of victory go up significantly. But yes, I will gladly consume the second Supreme Mana Potion. All right, I'll add it to my inventory and then drink it. Come on, load faster. Add once, and presto! Shit!
Beautiful.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Lower average. All right, that's fine. That's fine. I think I mostly need like 3s and 4s and 5s. Do I just get 2 5s so I can do telekinesis twice? Like that might be the play. Shit.
Also pin her down.
Oh man, these.
I have no input.
I will also note for you, Bryn. I have the spell scrolls that I have might spare you, indirectly some of your 3rd level slots.
We might be negotiating for that in a second.
Okay, great.
Thank you. I think telekinesis is probably like our best. I don't have enough sorcery points to get a 5th level slot back. So yeah, I'll get my 2 level 5s back, and then I have a 2nd and a 1st, and I still have my 8th for the day. Good God. Okay. Well, that's fine. It's what we rolled. We run with it.
I mean, I also have 2 more potions. I mean, I have 1 more of these, and then another one that is a little less predictable, but it does restore magic. That is the thing.
Okay, Silas. How much are years worth to you?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, my guess, though, for somebody who is that, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I leave it to you, Eric. Is it more valuable because he's 17, or is it less valuable because he throws himself into danger all the time? How much time does he have left? Aren't the years of... Yeah, exactly. The years of somebody who's not about to go fight, who might have minutes left. It's a neutral observation, but you're doing all of this so that you can go into a very dangerous fight.
You're right. The question is, do you get age from what the average lifespan of that person would be, or from what they have left? What do you get it from?
What a question.
Deep.
Take his baby years. Just take his baby years.
I kind of imagine it's like a debt.
Yeah, you would need to spend time here.
Hard pass.
And it's hard to do if you're dead.
So it's like a risky loan.
Not like in the Princess Bride, where they take years off of your life in the machine.
So if you wanted to give him years, that would happen now, and the rest of the party would go about their business, which you don't want to do.
Yeah, never mind then. That's
Normally I would give you some time to like get your affairs together, but your affair, like we said, you're about to go into danger. I appreciate the offer, and normally it's something I'd consider, but
these
not
are
in
our
this context.
affairs.
Yeah.
Are you full health, by the way, Sizing? Because there's still 2 uses left in that.
I'm
thing.
debating if I should use them. I'm only missing like 30 health. That's not that much.
I guess.
All right. What else do we have to negotiate with?
Come on, you guys have plenty of magic items. You have plenty of stuff that would be a little painful to part with, but that you're willing to part with. Let's talk about them.
How do you feel about
stings, just a little?
Have you ever heard about the spiders?
Like any spiders?
Have they been to my Have they been to my parties? Like, I don't know.
I don't think those spiders are like party people. I'll be
They're not
honest.
party people.
I'll roll my history check at disadvantage.
Just
You'd
for
never
clarity-
know.
For
That's
clarity
the beauty of them.
purposes, did Silas take the wine?
So again, Silas's
did take the wine and I
wondrous
gave you
history
the-
check kicks in once again.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
I
yeah,
the same way
I,
during his entire previous campaign.
I know of the arachnids, but yes, Coin, I took the wine and I gave you the 2 supreme mana potions in exchange.
Okay, just keeping track. Coin does technically still have what is it? I think 3 other wines, but they're worth 3k compared to the 10k. For the party's
We can
sake.
still trade stuff for that. I still have plenty of potions you might find useful, or scrolls. Like, we can still, I assume, Eric, trade stuff for that.
Mm-hmm. We can trade.
Bryn also has a dose of yellow sood on his person that he would be willing to barter.
That's an interesting conundrum. I like Sood more than wine, but I have more Sood. You know what I mean? But
Fair. Fair is fair.
It's on the table. Coin doesn't need anything, but if the party needs something, that is.
And I do like the wine, and I do like that it's worth something, and I will totally trade for it. I will, for sure. But also, like, you don't seem particularly bothered to part with the wine.
Yeah, no, Coin's not giving off. If anything, he's like, this is an excuse to get rid of it.
Right. Right. And I'm seeing that on you. I'm feeling that energy.
It's unspoken, but yeah.
Coin, you're better than this.
It makes the whole thing just a little less enticing. So I will, but if you have something that would...
You can also intuit Coin doesn't mind keeping it because it'll gain value by aging. But yeah, no, he's not.
Overall,
he's not
we'll
attached
trade
to
for
it.
it, but you're not emotionally invested in this item at all, and therefore that makes my interest. Anybody have anything that would be a bit of a bummer to lose? Maybe.
What if?
Annoying.
You're technically looking at it in Coin's mouth. He has a new coin that you haven't seen. Which,
Go ahead, Brent.
yeah.
What if I traded you a secret? Something that nobody else in the party knows.
Don't give me this. I actually don't like macaroni and cheese shit, Bryn. Don't try that in this palace.
I'm a straight shooter. Well, so I mean that's mainly because of the one-dimensional missiles, which always shoot straight, so that doesn't really count. But metaphorically, I mean I'm a straight shooter.
Exactly.
All right. While Eric is messaging me about that, I assume I will.
That's
I do
up
find
to you,
it.
man. I'm
great. No,
your thing.
Yeah. Yes. Fine. If I'm trusting you for the secret to be valuable, you'll have to trust me to price it after I hear it. But I'll trade a secret.
Okay. Well, it's Bryn doesn't know exactly how trading a secret works in the sense that Bryn is expecting is that by trading a secret, he's not just telling it to you, but it also comes with a physical object that is the representation of it. And Bryn is assuming that he would forget it afterwards. Like he's basically giving up a memory. But I don't
I'll make
know.
a deal with you about that part too. After I hear it, I'll decide whether I keep it and take it from you, or whether I keep it and we share it, and whether by telling it to me, you're deciding, you're making a magic vow that you will not and cannot tell it to anybody else in the future. If you give it to me, it's mine.
So, well, that's why yeah.
But it might be more interesting to let you keep the memory of it.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
know once I hear it.
Bryn, are you okay giving this up?
I mean, it has to be
I cast
something
silence on Seismic.
Fair.
It has to be.
fair.
It has
You
to be
beat me to
something
it.
that It has to be something that would hurt us, something painful, or at least something that you would feel the sting of its loss. And I do think that this is a part of Bryn's story that. It's something that I, as a player, have been sitting on for I think over a year, and so far the time has never come up to share it. And so maybe the correct answer is that we never share it. We share it once with Silas now, and then that's the end of it.
Kind of beautiful.
Wait, what the fuck is this in the chat? Why does Bryn have a crush on Coin?
That's the secret.
No idea where it came
Even
from.
this player
I
didn't
get it,
know.
I
You
get
better
it.
get
Right.
rid
I
of that
was like, I
secret
don't know,
before we guess
lost
it.
I was lost in your storytelling.
All right. Well, maybe we take this into a different voice channel to discuss it further.
Bryn forgot. He's always loved Coin.
All right.
Eric, you would come with us, I assume.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, see, here's the fun part. Is this a secret that we don't want the party to know? Because if not, that's fine.
It's a secret that Bryn has kept from the party.
Can you send it to me?
But
just send me a quick note.
yes.
Because it might be more fun to also like tell the above table and make the players.
That's why I'm trying to find out what the secret is before we.
Well, it's because I think that would be the fun part of it. Is that if I gave up the secret and promised never to tell it, then the party would never know.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Whatever's more fun for you.
There's a difference between the party doesn't know and the players don't know.
So, Eric, I will message you. Eric, you actually know what it is, and you were there for it.
Yes.
But it was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will message you. It's at.
Just send it through Discord. Discord's safer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it. Discord message coming right up.
Sure.
Okay, while they're doing that coin, let's talk about this new coin in your mouth. What's the deal there? What's going on there? What's the story?
It's very shiny.
So for context, you're gonna see the ruby coin of luck. You may or may not know it by name, but it's a sort of ruby, I believe, encrusted in the middle of this coin. Whereas every time you've seen Coin before, he just had scrappy, coppers and silvers and just whatever he found. And you've noticed, like, this one, like, he's not flipping it around the same way he would other coins. Like, he's just keeping it tight in his lips. And he's gonna say, like, what kind? Sort of disappears into his mouth.
Okay, here's the thing. Luck is actually part of my domain, so I am... Not only am I intrigued by how much this would suck for you to lose it, I genuinely want that. Any attempt to manipulate chance. It's also displayed in the.
Yeah.
Any attempt to manipulate or ability to manipulate like chance is always going to be intriguing.
Coin has his arms crossed. This is the most like sort of defensive you've seen him. I'd say he's not like offended. He understands why you'd want it, but it's rare you see Coin not put something on the table, and you can tell he's sort of like. How much do you want it? Because
I will ask. Go ahead.
You don't know how many years I've burned, so it's understandably not. It's not casual talk for me to put this on the pile.
Well, it is going to depend a little bit on an out-of-game question, which is, do I know about this? Because this affects kind of both sides of how I look at it. Do I know about this part of the item?
Yeah, you would know about that because let me.
Sorry, you said I actually do?
Yeah, you would know this, and I will tell you why.
Okay. That's interesting because it means that I would never use it, but it means that it's also like
Right.
Are you attuned to this right now?
Coin would be attuned to it at this point.
Yep.
So giving it to me would mean that
I can't get it back. It's not. It would be yours permanently. If we're operating on the assumption Coin is never attuned to this previously, which he wouldn't.
Right, it would have to, because otherwise your attempt to attune to it now would have destroyed your body. Okay,
He had access to it in his backstory, but he never used it in attunement sense. He was just sort of in possession of it. Which is to say that he's attuned to it now, and if he gave you it, like, it's useless to him.
I mean, okay, let me double check to see if you're thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are.
And I'll tell you, out of character, more than willing to part with this. Narratively, Coin has a soft spot, he would. But over the table, you're gonna have to work for it, because he is attached to this thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, ultimately that last part's the deciding factor for me, Eric. It's we can, I mean, up to you on this. I can either give, if you want to give it to me, if I'm keeping it, I can certainly like bestow many riches in the form of well, presumably gold, but who cares? Potions and scrolls, and suit and other enhancements and things like that.
For the foreseeable future, or for today's transaction?
No, I mean like for today, like I'll give you a lump sum now. Like we'll trade and I'll give you a bunch of stuff. Or we can simply trade items that are very important to us for a limited time. If you're not planning on using to have something significant to me, such as yeah, I have a couple of like very like powerful magic items that I could trade you for this for a limited time. I'll hold on to the coin, and you'll hold on to or somebody in the party, if you're wanting to donate it to the party, can use one of my more powerful magic items for your next upcoming adventures. And then
Coin's body
we'll trade back.
language indicates to you that he's not quite sold on it yet. Which I am processing the offer, but Coin's going to respond pretty quickly. Like,
you wouldn't need to attune to it in that case. You would just need to go without it. You can stay attuned to it, and I'll just be hanging on to it.
I guess that's a
Right?
meta
Like,
question for me. Is that how attunement works? You can get rid
You
of
can
it, but
part
still
with
be
it
attuned?
physically. Is that the case? As long as I don't try to attune to it?
It's a question for Eric. He can.
Yeah, he can hold on to it.
I'll just stick it in a drawer, by which I mean my pocket.
So you want possession of it, but not the possession of it, to put it in quotes.
That's because what I want, Coin, is for you to feel. Come on, we've been here for like 2 hours. I want you to feel. Come on, Coin. I want you to hurt a little. I want it to be interesting.
Coin's like tapping his foot now, where he's like, man, I don't.
If it
like,
doesn't
even...
work, it doesn't work. If I don't have stuff you're interested in, then we'll find something else.
Coin's
But
gonna turn to the party and say, like, what else do we need? Do we need anything?
I would like some spells, but Coin, I'm not going to have you give up your coin for that. That's not worth it.
Yeah,
Spells help us get Saphira back.
Does he have a purple or laser sword?
Silas, do you have a purple laser or sword?
There it is.
I look at my sword like leaning against the throne that does like the magic it glows with is sort of a vague purple, and I'm like, I mean, the sort of. I don't think so. I don't think I do in the way you mean.
Coin turns away. He doesn't.
Could I offer you my shield? This is kind of my symbol of protection I use to keep everyone here safe. Would that be worth it to you for the potion?
What potion are you looking for? Which one are we talking about?
The strongest mana potion you have.
I guess with the ones that I have left, that's actually just up to you. But what shield is it? Is this significance because it's personal to you, or is it also like a magical item? Both.
A little bit of both.
And you know that, Silas, because of what we discussed.
Interesting.
What's a curse but a blessing in disguise?
Fails to end the curse. So I'll take the shield, but missiles will still be attracted to you, and you'll have lower AC about it.
Yeah.
I thought Eric specified that if the shield was unequipped, the curse would go away when this was discussed a while ago.
Oh yeah, I remember he did say that.
Yeah.
Does it say just to prevent exploiting or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, to make it interesting to me, I would like to tweak that curse for the purposes of this deal, apply some phase shit to make it so that you have to have your AC lower. No, you can't put a new shield, or if you do put a new shield, you don't get the +2 AC benefit from it, you just get whatever else it brings. Because, it's more interesting to me if me taking this means you removing the shield fields and the curse on you. Yeah, so you remove it makes it more interesting to me if you don't get a shield's +2 AC.
Let's say I give this to you. I perpetually lose 2 AC flat, basically. Or any shield I equip does not give me the base +2. Do I keep the rest of the curse, including attracted to missiles?
Of course.
So this might be a good point to step in.
Yeah.
Eric and I have negotiated a way forward on the secret negotiations. That option is still on the table for Silas, depending on what he might be willing to give up for it.
This one's a juicy one, Silas. Feel free
to
this one. I'm going to say that Bryn has pulled it out. This is a big secret that I've known and he's known, but we are not going to reveal this until the end of the campaign to anyone other than Silas, if Silas takes the deal.
Oh darn! I was actually not gonna. I was just gonna say we're not gonna reveal it and then surprise him at the end of the campaign. But okay, fine. You can learn it at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
So for the sake of expediency, I'm fine with Eric deciding how much it's worth, and then after everybody else leaves, I can share the actual secret with Silas. But yeah, whatever is.
Talking to Walker, do you want to give this up? Because
go ahead. Sorry.
I think this is very fitting, and I think the idea that I'd be able to share it, but only with Damon, and I what I wanted to do was say that I would never share it with anybody, and that's the price that we pay for the assistance here, is that it's just gone, and Damon knows, but the other players don't. But it would be more fun for the party if it was eventually shared, because it's part of Bryn's character development. So yeah, I will after the campaign, I will share it, and of course Damon or Silas can choose to if they wish. But yes, this is something I'm absolutely willing to do, because I think it's very much in the mindset of giving up something important to the character, which is what Silas wants from us, while also not depriving the party of anything material numbers-wise. Like, Sazin losing 2 AC for the rest of the campaign, or basically never being able to use a shield again?
Yeah, for while I'm holding on the shield.
Yeah, that matters. My secret is purely about character, and that's why I think it would be
complete.
Okay,
I completely understand. I just want to let you know that both as Sazin in character and also just out of character, in both ways, the character and myself want to take the hits so that we can have your secret come out at some point. But also, out of character, I want you to do what you want here.
I appreciate it. And the thing is, it's something I've been sitting on for like such a long time that it's probably like there's a reason it hasn't come out for this long, which is why. Well, no, I'm saying Tati. I'm not saying RP doesn't matter. I'm saying this is a good opportunity for RP, and we can.
You said the AC matters. My whole character is built on sucking at combat.
In terms of rescuing Saphira, the AC matters very much. And I challenge you to tell me it doesn't.
In regards to the argument here, or the statements, I should say, the AC in this case matters more than this secret. However, I think that's more of a Bryn analysis. Am I correct in that?
So the secret, the material component of the secret is completely useless.
Okay.
It's like there's a reason it hasn't come out in a year. So it's but I was looking through my inventory for stuff to give up for Saison, and I think I hit on something cool. So I am totally down to do this, but also we could negotiate something else if the party wanted.
Walker/Bryn,
go ahead.
Would you feel comfortable turning this into a persuasion check? Where I'm trying to convince him to go for my shield and the curse, and you're trying to convince him to go for the memory.
Well, depending on what he has to offer, why not both? Because it seems I think out of character we both want these things to happen.
Right.
So
well, it's also like I just wouldn't want you to give up a secret / memory, especially since honestly, like out of character and all that. I've been really excited about your backstory and hoping we get to hear it at some point. If this is how it comes out and like we hear it way in the future, cool, really great. But still, both character and me separately are like, God, I want to like get the chance to explore this in the campaign.
But I also think
we need to kill some villains to find out the backstory.
Yeah, no, totally fair. Totally valid.
That's what's cool about this. It's what's cool about this particular deal is that part of what we're giving up as a party is that this secret is not going to be learned and that makes it a little bit painful for everybody.
It does,
and so that's what I think is cool about it. But yeah, it's we can renegotiate if we want the party if we want the players to learn about it at some point. We can absolutely do that. But it's I think story-wise it makes sense for this because I think I have what Silas is looking for.
Right. So let's go ahead and start with that one, and if you guys want more, we can go with Saison's deal if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, because I think we definitely want another mana potion for Silas, or not for Saison, and that's expensive as hell. And I would imagine that my secret probably buys like the mana potion and maybe something else small, and then your shield and curse probably buy other stuff we need, like scrolls and other lesser potions. So I think we should do both, just for the sake of winning this really hard encounter that's going.
Again, just the way I would say is my character would generally try and talk you out of it, but especially if we're considering doing both, that's kind of hand-waving. I'm willing either way to say that Bryn convinced me. I'm happy to move on with that as the thing. But he's not happy about
it. All right. So, what's for sale?
Big time.
Oh, that depends. I mean, what's the secret?
I'm going to send it to him in Discord.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm going to hear the exclamation here, and this is what I'm sending this back to Walker, just so that I can make sure that we do this right.
Okay.
I did modify what you said just slightly.
Yeah, adding more details.
Okay. That's all I did.
Yeah. That's basically exactly what I said, except with more details, which is good.
Right.
So yeah, go for it.
Cool. All right. There you go. Have fun with that one, Silas. As Bryn is going to come up to you and whisper this in your ear.
funny. Obviously Silas doesn't, but but just as obviously, I remember a lot of. That it was from a year. He said out of character. It was from a year ago. Everybody.
It's longer
That
than
part is
that.
not great.
I have no idea what this is.
I know you don't. There's no way you could know at all unless you are watching all the archives.
Yes,
It's a slow process.
With the
I don't know.
with the archives, because I chatted this when I said I was doing this. I chatted this to you, Eric, so it would be secret, and then I hid it in my inventory so that anybody looking at my character sheet wouldn't see it. So in the archives, do you have the GM chats visible? And is that okay? Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought there's no way that anybody else in the party could know what this is because I negotiated it secretly with you. But hey, it's I guess Damon knows regardless now. Yeah.
This must be far back because even I don't have a definitive idea of what this would be.
I'm very
The
glad.
curiosity is gonna kill me.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm very glad.
I must know.
Are you a cat?
What?
Satisfaction will bring me back.
Yeah. All right. So we will worry about that later. As Silas is going to go into his supply closet and provide you with compensation for the secret.
Yeah. What are we? What direction do you want to look in, Bren? Are we looking to borrow a big item, or are we looking to just get as many potions and scrolls as we can?
I think the latter. I think definitely we're looking at the third Supreme Mana Potion for Sazin, and then whatever else is on the table. I think we're looking for just like additional scrolls so we can cast stuff like Haste without a spell slot, or like another, like a nice healing potion in case we get low.
Yeah, we can do the potion and 2 scrolls. Just knock that out.
Perfect.
What is
that works for me.
Do we want to do now? I mean, you can do a Supreme Mana Potion, but can I also tempt you with? I have a mana potion that's a little. Oh, I guess it's not. Yeah, it's a little less predictable, but it does restore magic. I guess I can't convince. I was comparing it to the Greater Mana Potion, where it was a little closer to even odds, but it's not as comparable in this case. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we'll give you the Supreme Mana Potion, and you said choose. I was going to try and sell you on it, but I can't because they're just more fun.
I like how you unconvinced yourself.
Yeah, as I was reading through it, I was doing the math on the averages. I was like, Walker knows off the top of his head, just like I do, that the average of what I'm offering is 3.5 lower than the average of what he's got. Like, that's just not a good deal. Okay, but I have spell scrolls of what I have. I mean, unless you want me to have other stuff available, Larry. What I have on my character sheet.
You pick 2 of them.
Okay. Bryn, I mean, I can offer you.
You pick 2 of them. Give him 2 scrolls, and the mana potion.
Okay. I was gonna let him pick from 2 spells.
No.
That you meant.
No. You give him 2 scrolls from your inventory, Silas.
Okay, interesting. I'm just gonna roll for them then.
What is he showed us earlier the sword that he had?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll gladly show. Perfect. You get 1 of each. I'll give you spell and dispel magic.
Sorry, did you say counterspell and dispel magic?
I did.
Okay, cool. I will add them to my inventory. Thank you.
Okay, that was good, Justin.
It's my leading guess right now.
What's the leading guess here?
It's the 15th book from the
15th book.
I said it was that he read the 14 books in private, and then he said maybe it's the 15th.
I was kind of yes ending.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny that.
I'll deny
Funny.
it.
I also guessed that it was going to be a reference to that as well.
Okay.
Real quick, what potion? I should be Supreme Mana Potion?
Yes.
46?
Yes. I'm sorry. I can display it again.
46.
Tati.
Oh,
That's nice.
Hey, there you go.
People are on fire right now.
Roll.
That's huge.
Holy shit. Wait, whoa, that's a crazy roll.
Beautiful.
That's a good roll.
I love Tati's thing that she believes that the secret is that his mom is the author of the 14 books.
Wait, why did she qualify it with not him? As in, it's implied that he wrote it, like, for sure, but it's actually his mom.
Yeah, because
They
that
could've
was one of my
co-authors.
previous guests, was that it was him.
Oh, it was
Okay.
him.
I hope
I'm
throughout the
changing my
next
guess.
arc of the campaign, we just get little hints. Like,
Nope.
I love how
it
all of us are
alludes
just
to maybe
fixated
it's
on the
true.
books. All of us just think it has to do with the books, like, independently.
You'll see. Well, the
One
players
day.
roll the characters are. All right.
We just
so,
have to
and then
TPK and we'll
yeah,
find out.
Everyone's like, kill each other.
Well,
so that we
that, I
can
guess
find
it's
the
time. We need to know the secret now.
secret. Mhm.
I like the idea that our party has a time capsule for when we TPK.
There is one, actually.
I will
text
say this.
file.
By the way, I will say this, Bryn, you're gonna remember that. I'm not taking. I mean, I get to keep it, and then like you
yeah.
can tell
Oh, I
anybody
think
else.
that's definitely.
But I would like
Yeah.
Bryn to remember that about himself.
Yes, I expected as much. That Bryn now is stuck with this forever and can't tell anybody else. I
Yep.
think is excellent.
Correct. Great. Love it.
What the?
About this shield, about this -2 AC as you go into an intense battle. That's an interesting thought.
Is there something else you're wanting, Sayson? Maybe that sword?
Can we
I
know
don't know if the
sword is?
sword's worth it to me
I
personally.
don't know if the sword is. I think it could, but because it's got some pretty good healing that people might appreciate in the middle of battle. But I don't know what your attunement slots look like. I would also note for the spellcasters, I have something that can at the very least, get you through this next encounter and maybe one or two after that. At which point it'll probably run out of charges, but it'll be pretty useful to you while you've got it.
Can you describe what that item is?
I will. I'm sorry. I'm just not clicking fast enough.
Oh.
Click.
Uh,
Oh.
Those are
think
the only
Spirit-
two big items I've got that Silas would like be willing to part with. And both of them are like temporarily parting with, and then you'll have to return it, or we'll swap items back depending on what we're trading. Or in the case of the option, you'll maybe have to buy me a new one, a fresh one, because this one's mostly spent, and they are expensive and hard to get a hold of. Like, I don't feel like leaving here, so it would be great if I gave you this one for you to get me a new one soon. We'll talk timeline if you agree to, if this is interesting to you.
This is an extremely powerful and cool item, but Saphira is not a spellcaster. So
But
we
she
could
can
use it to
redirect spells.
potentially- She can, but only to people that she has blood from. I could put it on myself, and then if I cast a spell on her and it gets bounced back to me, I can just absorb it again.
I also don't know what you're going to end up having to do after this, or if this would be useful for that. If not, no big deal.
All right. Is this more likely to get Saphira back?
I am skeptical that this directly helps us with that, just because I think that it's the circumstances under which this helps us are like a little bit just like very specific, and I think the sword that you can heal for 10d4 plus 20, or cast detect magic at will to find Saphira if she runs away, like that's pretty cool. Someone would have to wield it though. I'm not sure who's best equipped for that.
What was I going to say? I love how it says Silas weapon as the weapon type. Why is it a Silas weapon?
Silas weapon. Got his scent on it.
So here's what I'm thinking. Once again, thinking about our plan to actually go in and get Saphira. I think the idea is we pump Ruzid, we have him either pin her down or take her to the sky, and either pepper her from a distance or something along those lines, right?
Yeah, pretty much just wail on her, if I'm being honest.
I feel like this sword would actually be perfect for Tati.
Yeah.
It's finesse, so you can use sneak attack, and you can heal yourself because
I can't use sneak attack right now anyway. If we're fighting Saphira, a longsword and me are a bad idea.
Oh shoot! Do we want to get? Do we have potions that would cure exhaustion for Tati?
Oh, we have one, I believe. Let me check the bag of holding.
Do we have any counterplay for if Saphira, just bites Ruzid? Like, you can grapple her, but she can still...
Ruzid's to counterplay, Ruzid's going to have 30 AC and shield, and also ways to redirect the attacks.
That's pretty good counterplay.
She'll have disadvantage.
And she'll have disadvantage, yeah. I think Ruzid can lock her down.
Yeah.
We're covered.
Yes. Yeah, we beat her before she gets something like double net 20s. And then we cast Silvery Barbs, and then she has to do it again. So, yeah, I think that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, Syson has to not be in melee for this to work, because Syson's going to be probably too vulnerable to being hit, because if he gets hit, then she can use blood on stuff and redirect more attacks to Syson.
Coin will stay within 20 feet of you and just trying to stun her. I guess I have to unarmed strike this stun, right?
You still want to fight her outside the temple, right?
Or with a melee weapon.
On the lawn?
I would like to do that, but we'd have to drag her out probably.
And keep a distance?
Yeah, Coin could theoretically stun her with the rope dart without getting
All of you would need
range.
to stay away from Ruzid while he drags her out by himself, essentially.
Did we figure out how we're meeting up with Tati? Could you trade your shield for that?
Well, I was really hoping that while all of this was going down, I could try to sneak off and flag Crystal down.
Okay.
Like I could make a run for it.
Still being arrested. That has gone over my head this whole time.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay. Yeah, that.
But yeah, I can still make a run for it ghostwise, but I was hoping that Crystal or Oshin would have some recommendations for how to smooth talk my way, and maybe get some support from all these people in a big palace.
I don't think they'd be able to help in time.
It's mainly that this whole thing is going to be decided in 5 rounds, and you're miles and miles away.
Well, I mean, we're not the only people that have magic either. There's a whole palace
teleport.
here.
Yeah, if you can get them to teleport you back.
Assuming that either Oshin or Crystal has a recommendation for how to approach that.
That would be a question for Eric, because I don't know.
South Cove.
Are you sure Tati doesn't just have a cousin who can run 400 miles per round?
He definitely did, but he died at the end of it. It was a full marathon. He just collapsed. He delivered the message, but died at the end. Yeah.
So Crystal's going to greet you with a
name?
hug.
Crystal, look.
Oh, hi.
Can you see? Do you notice anything? I'm
New
pulling my chin up.
tattoos?
No. I mean, look though. And I'm trying to draw attention to the priest tabs.
Oh, so you joined the clergy? Awesome.
I spent a whole summer studying, in the same classroom, with the same teacher.
That's boring.
I know. But I got these.
Yeah.
How's married life?
Oh, it's delightful. Mm-hmm.
Enjoying the parties then.
Oh, the
guess
parties
where
are
I am.
great. Absolutely. You're right here.
No, I mean, guess where yes. Guess where I was right before I was here.
Where were you?
I was in Corlin. I was in South Cove in Corlin.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I got arrested.
Do you know who arrested you? Maybe I can pull some strings.
It was the guards at the top of the tallest tower on top of the tallest mountain in South Cove, which turns out to be a palace, by the way.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. And she suddenly
Do you know
gets
who's
serious.
up there? Do you know who they are?
Yeah? I kind of do.
I didn't get time to like make full introductions before I got teleported here.
She's going to pull you conspiratorially off to the side.
Okay.
Tati, you're at my house.
Really? I mean, really? No wonder you like this place. That palace was huge.
Yeah, that's my dad's place. What are you doing there?
Oh, so we were trying to rescue Saphira, and it went really terribly, and then I drank, no, I was fighting, chaos blood monsters, and they kept cutting me and getting cut, and then I got teleported to the top of the mountain. And then the guards were kind of confused, and we were trying to talk it out, and then the handcuffs came out, but we didn't get a chance to really, dig into the situation.
Okay. Do you want to go back, or are you trying to rejoin the guys?
Well, I gotta rejoin the guys, but I think it seems like when we go back to the material plane, we'll just go back to where we left.
Right. Unless we pull a couple of strings. You see, Silas doesn't know everything that goes on here.
Like how you're secretly running the whole show behind his back?
Like that one.
I knew it. I knew it had to be.
When it's time for you to go back, what I can do is I can banish you back to the material plane.
Okay, and then I'll go back to the material. Isn't that what will happen?
Yeah, we'll send you back to the material plane, but we'll banish you right to where you want to be.
You can control it that well? Wow, Crystal, you've gotten crazy strong.
Gotten some cool powers while sitting here. Silas, gives the best massages,
Sure, I'll make a note of it.
Yeah. He's such a great girlfriend, too. He likes going out for mani-pedis, and he likes shopping, too. You really should come to the mall sometime.
You have a mall here?
Well, no. In Ashelion, there's a beautiful mall.
Where's it? Okay. All right. So you're gonna banish me at the last second, and then I'll try to rescue Saphira with everybody.
Sure.
You don't want me to deliver a message to your folks?
No, I think we're fine.
All right. I know they didn't get a chance to come to the wedding.
Be involved with my dad. Especially since he doesn't know, and I don't want you exactly to tell him that I married someone he didn't approve of.
Oh, it's a secret. Sorry, I kind of. Well, I don't think I told anyone. I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was a secret. I'll remember from now on that it's a secret. That's amazing.
Okay. It's been a nice seeing you. Would you like some champagne?
Have you made any progress with studying the frenzy?
I may have gotten slightly distracted.
I knew it. That's all right. We've been figuring it out anyway.
Oh, awesome. So I don't have to anymore?
Oh, you never had to. It's just that doing it would have maybe saved some lives.
Well, see, I learned a little bit about it. You see, one of the processing things about the frenzy that turns it purple is dragon's breath.
That's Sagayo's dragon breath?
That's what I'm thinking, is that he breathes on it as a final sealing thing in order to infuse it with magical powers that make it more potent. That's why it's so much worse.
I think everybody will be relieved that it means production and distribution can be ended with the same, death.
Well, here's hoping.
Have fun.
You too. You really should come for a spa day sometime.
Okay. I'll. I mean, you could also come visit us on the material plane sometimes. There's spas there. We've been checking out some new cities.
Interesting. I'll convince Silas to go for a spa day soon. I'm sure he'd love to get out.
It does seem like he needs to get out. His complexion's a little on the pale side.
Always is. Mine too. I can use a tan.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm in the peak of health.
All right.
I'm gonna slide back over to the group then.
Cool. You slide back to the group, who is currently in heated discussion as they are near ending their negotiations with Silas.
All right, Tati, would you have any use for the sword if we can get it for you?
I think he said
that's
no.
Silas's sword. That's not my sword.
Yeah.
No, it's a long sword and it does have finesse, but not for you.
Yeah, I read it. I mean, I looked at it.
Okay.
I feel like you'd have a pretty steep
cool
price.
sword. I mean, I feel like Silas obviously picks out good weapons. It's a nice weapon.
Flattery will get you far.
I don't know, Sison. I think that shield's gonna keep you alive more than most things that Sison could give us at this point.
Yeah, if the sword isn't working for you, really the rest I've got. I do have a potion of heroism and a few healing, but I don't know what your healing potion situation looks like.
Really, just anything that could get rid of the exhaustion would be fantastic, or just like one level of it.
Crystal will walk by. Oh. I'll give you greater restoration, dear.
I was just about to say that.
She knows what you're thinking. She's there for you, and she brings you a flute of champagne, Silas.
Perfect.
As she casts greater restoration on Tati.
Oh, what does that do?
It removes a level of.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. My only other concern is that, again, I'm not going to be tanking anything right now. And right now is my concern. Are we better served by potions and items that will keep people alive versus my shield? Because right now I'm not going to be getting hit. It's going to be Ruzit who's taking it.
I don't think so.
I think you should keep your shield.
Okay.
Especially assuming they're not going to be fully repopulated in that building. We already roughly know how they fight and where they stand. I'm not too worried about that.
I would vote for the health potions, both for in-character and out-of-character reasons. The in-character reason being, I think that I agree that it's unlikely that Sason gets hit a lot, and I think that having extra health potions on hand would be super handy, or that extra whatever potion Silas was talking about that can restore spell slots. I think that's might be more beneficial than Sazin having extra armor class. And then out of character, I also know that it would be really cool for Sazin to make a deal with,
I agree, but someone's gonna have to offer to sweep his floors to get it. You know what I mean?
No, like I do kind of agree. I'm in character. He's super willing to give up anything in terms of increasing our chances. Now in character, losing something and having a curse sounds incredibly fun, but also it better be worth my time.
I just don't know what more we need, because
I think we're good.
Agreed.
I'll say I could also try. The only other thing I think I could maybe offer. Are you guys planning on casting buffs on yourself before you head out before you leave here?
It would be convenient if that was possible.
Do you have something to offer for that?
I can duplicate any buff you can. I'm not really a buff spell kind of guy. I'm that's not usually in my skill set. But replicating magic that I see in front of me is. So if you guys buff yourselves before you go, I can do it again. Replicate it to apply it to more people, or to get, depending on the buff, just to give you more of it. So I don't have any of my own, but if you guys are planning on laying some down, I can increase the mileage on them pretty dramatically.
That's
Shield of Faith on Roosid?
I would get behind that immensely. I can, depending how many you can copy, Death Ward, Shield of Faith, even Sanctuary to a certain extent is worth something.
Sanctuary could be great on some people.
Sorry, what was that?
Sanctuary could be pretty good at the start here, just so that people can get away.
Yeah.
Your limitation is going to be rounds, not like if there's not a type of spell that I can't replicate or level of spell I can't replicate. I can kind of do whatever on that front. It's just that like by the time I replicate 5 things for you, some of them are halfway done. You know what I mean?
Sure. Let's see, what's the duration of that? A minute. Some things are definitely worth this. I'm looking at what I have real quick, sorry. That's up to 10 minutes. Okay. Honestly, I'll tell you what, I will trade my shield with leaving the curse on myself for a healing potion of your choice. Let's say 2 healing potions of your choice, and copying any buffs we can cast within a minute. Is that valid?
I'm asking Eric a question on the potions, and then let me tell you.
To be clear, I'm aiming high.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because for sure. Yeah, it will. And the 2 potions, or is that instead of 2 potions? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I can do 2 potions, and 2 buffs.
2 potions and 2 buffs?
Yes.
That's a deal.
Okay, so
It's a good deal.
Silas, do you have a bottle? Like a really good bottle? Like, we need to catch Mosaba after all of this.
I have a bottle that up until about 10 minutes ago held $10,000 worth of wine.
I mean, if anything, it's too good of a bottle.
It is a very nice bottle of wine.
So I'll give you 1
Nice.
unstable healing potion. And because to me, I assume it's because it's pretty cool to have a curse attached for consumable limited benefits. I can give him the other another one as well of my choice there?
Yep.
Okay, great. So 1 unstable one, and then just in case that one screws you over, and because it's about luck, it's about balance, I will give you a real guaranteed good healing potion.
Okay. Does anyone, Ruzid maybe, do you want to take the supreme healing potion?
Sure. Put it on my belt.
I'll put the unstable unless we think we should divvy it up any other way. Anyone else have opinions on that one?
No, I really want you to drink it.
Teleport to the tallest mountain.
For your sake, by the way, on the buffs, I think Eric picked 2 because he knows I'm gonna if I can, I'm gonna upcast them, I'm gonna twin them, it's Silas's thing to stretch them as far as they can go. So pick if that would make them more valuable to you. Pick buffs that can benefit from things like being upcast or like a twinned spell or something like that.
I think that's going to be a quick party discussion before we determine which 2 we're copying. Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Now, I will toss in here that if it's a concentration buff, it ends when you leave.
Oh, wait, it ends when we leave?
If he has to concentrate on it, when you guys leave, his time stream is different than yours.
Okay, so then that leaves us with only one option pretty much, which is Sanctuary or Death Ward, I guess. Death Ward would be
Death
good enough.
Ward.
Let's
Yeah,
just do
I
Death
feel, like,
Ward.
At that point, Death Ward and Sanctuary is where we want to be.
Well,
because
could it just be
Sanctuary.
Death Ward twice? Like, because he just said 2 spells, and it could be the same one. I think that out of all the options that don't require concentration that are buffs, which aren't very many, I think Death Ward is just the best option by far.
The only way I can do that is if I have not technically allocated my slots yet when drinking my potion, which technically I had, but
then just do whatever you need to do.
Well, on the other hand, could he copy the same spell he sees twice? Is that valid?
No, I have to. I do it as a reaction to you casting.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, question for you.
On that front, Eric. Oh, that makes sense too. Also, I mean, it depends on how many people you want to apply it to, but we could stretch the sanctuary pretty far because I think, and I'll sort of have some like, I'll call over some satyr intern and I'll write a note or conjure up a note and have him run it to Crystal.
Who's standing right next to you?
Oh, she is still? I didn't know if she. I thought you had described her going. Continue.
The token's right there.
Yeah. But I thought you had described. I must have misheard.
Yeah.
Okay,
she's
perfect.
been
Crystal,
roaming in and out.
He feels a mile away when they're not holding hands.
Oh,
there you go.
This is so sad.
Crystal, what are your thoughts on this Death Ward discussion?
Well, if they're okay with modifying the deal so that I handle it instead of you, I'll take care of the Death Wards for all of them.
Saphira is so powerful these days.
Damn. So in return for the 2 twin spells, basically we get Death Ward on the party instead?
Yes.
Yeah, because I would be able to. Yeah, I guess.
The way it works is she casts it multiple times and he twins it.
I would accept that deal if everyone else is okay with it.
Death Ward.
Oh, let me think about it. Yeah, I'm on board.
Okay. So everyone gains Death Ward against the first time that they would fall to 0 hit points.
Yay. Thank you, Crystal.
Yippee.
She
I
smiles sweetly.
appreciate it, Crystal.
Okay, now what are the buffs we want to cast before we leave? No, because I guess this is it. This is our last thing.
Yep.
I was in the kitchen washing dishes, so you couldn't hear me because I was muted. But when Eric said we got Death Ward on the whole party, I audibly said, "Holy shit!" That's such a good deal.
Yeah, that could be a
literal lifesaver.
Literally.
Hey.
Only mint flavored though. Thank you for getting it. Not everyone gets that one.
I like the cherry one.
You like the cherry ones?
Who likes the cherry? Sorry.
Okay, get out of here. Cherry, you serious?
Can we remove Sazen's Death Ward?
I'm gonna cast Remove Curse on you to get rid of that horrible taste you have.
I don't know. I'm more of a butter rum guy.
Holy shit, that was incredible.
You want to hear horrible taste? Come watch the Fey-Watch. Nobody is the worst.
Ketchup.
Well done steaks.
Yeah, but
with ketchup. Ugh.
Ocean drinking cough syrup.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Our buffs. I'm not gonna give you Sanctuary yet, Ruzid. I can give you Shield of Faith to begin with.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Protection from Good and Evil doesn't do anything at the moment.
Shield of Faith.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Invoke the Amaranth.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's really important, as a matter of fact. I'll roll 2d20s.
Okay.
A 12 and a 13. I guess I'm gonna take those saving throws, everyone. Is that what we think?
Well, doesn't it say you can do this anytime? You determine what it is for when you.
Oh yeah, for each die, choose attack roll, skill check, or saving throw.
It's basically more limited portents.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably saving throw.
That's all.
Saving throws are good because we can do.
You can stop the blood.
A 12 or 13 is good enough for us to save against Saphira's Sample the Masses, and also low enough that it might cause her to fail a save. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's also a great death save.
That's
it
true.
is.
It's a positive death save if we need it.
I feel like pretty much every time I cast this, I'm going to be choosing saving throws, but great.
Cool. Make a note of
Those
that,
are my saving
please.
throws. Okay, I've got Stone Skin. I don't think that's relevant. Magic Circle, no. Death Ward, we don't need that. Okay, the only thing I'm going to be doing is right before we leave, I'm going to drop a Shield of Faith. I have Sanctuaries. Well, okay. Should I drop a Sanctuary on, like, Bryn?
I think early Sanctuaries are... I mean, I think save your spell slots, because I'm going to be going for Telekinesis probably on turn 1. So, yeah, I think that, like... I think save Sanctuaries for, like, maybe, like, once Ruzid has her grappled. Or maybe, like, when I don't know. What's your spell slot situation looking like?
I'm looking a lot better since that roll. I just used a third slot, but I have all of my ones, which is say 4 1s, 3 2s, 1 3, and 1 4.
I think you can save them for combat because I think that we can save it for, like, if someone gets low or if someone gets blood points on them, then you can situationally protect people that need to be protected. Up to you, of course, but I think that right now I'm pretty squishy, but I would also burn the Sanctuary pretty quick.
Okay.
Because my objective is just cast Telekinesis as soon as I see her. So, yeah, I guess there's plenty of other party members who are also vulnerable.
My guess is everyone's going to start swinging. Does anyone think they're not going to start targeting people with anything?
I thought we were supposed to run, but yeah, that's fair. I was gonna ask though, do Sison and Rusid want haste?
I have haste. I was going to cast on myself.
Okay.
Technically, we've been told to clear the way for Ruzid to grapple Saphira and drag her outside.
Yes, and you need to stay away from her so that she can't get blood on anyone.
That is roughly the plan. If you can fight without proccing, then go for it.
In summary of the plan, I think as long as everyone's okay with it, Ruzid and I try and corner her. I still think Ruzid, we should probably fly with her, because if anything goes wrong, well, at first we need to get rid of her blood points. So you and I need to corner her for that.
I want Coin to follow with you, because having him burn like endless stunning strikes on her might be useful for the reactions and stuff.
Well, it's just the fact that you need to. I guess you have to pass the blood save every time. If you're able to do that, then we're fine with you sticking with us. But I don't know if your save's high enough to guarantee pass. Save?
It's like 20, I think.
For the blood save?
20 con.
20 was for the 20 was for the exhaustion. I think it's lower than that for the blood save.
I think it's like 17 or 18 for the blood. I don't remember.
I think it's 17 or 16. Okay. It's in that range.
It's still like a 40% miss.
Well, what if you're close to me? Is that true?
It's still not 100%.
That'd be like plus 15 on con save, I think.
That might be enough.
And then I have 1 lucky available.
I have advantage and a plus 15. That should be you should be fine then.
Okay,
if I'm near Sazin, I'm pretty sure I can justify it. That said, I'm not against him just waiting at the front door either.
No, I agree, Coin. Let's just make sure that you don't stay right next to her the whole time. Because if she keeps swinging on you, she'll probably hit you. So
I can say, to be clear, I can attack her from like 20 feet away.
You can attack her and then just
even better.
I have the rope dart, remember?
The rope dart.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be in her swing range.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so you'll come with us, Coin. You and I will stay together the whole time. I'm also going to be trying to keep Ruzid within 10 feet so that I can take damage for him if it hits.
Coin hops onto your shoulder like a parrot.
Done.
Like monk style, he's sort of balancing.
You weigh like 6 pounds.
It's 35, but you were close.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do? Good. Okay.
I can cast fly upon the 3 of you. Malachi says, indicating Ruzid, Coin, and Sason.
That would actually let me move faster, which is very relevant because I can already fly, but the fly speed essentially doubles my speed on top of the doubling from haste, which is actually going to make me move very fast.
That's actually incredible.
I'm gonna drink my potion of growth right now and just become medium. I actually don't really want to transform right now this fight.
Maybe you
I'll
step
give you-
5 feet away from us before doing that.
No,
Otherwise, we're gonna get
I'll just
squished.
become medium because I'm not
I'm
even
gonna-
this small right now.
Oh, right.
I'm going to give you another potion of growth from the bag because I'm pretty sure we've got extra in there. Yeah, we got 3 more. I'm going to give you another one to put in your belt.
Okay, I put it on my belt. It lasts like a few hours, so
Sure, but-
I'll roll for it just to make sure that it's a 1 hour.
And Malachi, truly thank you. You don't know us well or anything like that, but we owe you here. This is life or death for a friend.
Okay, so the last thing I want to do right before we leave is I'm going to cast Taste on myself. So whenever that happens, Eric, that's when Ruzid will cast Taste.
Very well.
At the same time, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Ruzid.
All right.
I'll cast Fly like right before them because that has a longer duration.
Cool. All right.
Taste on myself. And Wings for Fly.
All right. I don't think Bryn is putting any buffs on himself because Saphira can see through mirror image, and telekinesis is an action whether you already have it up or not. And so putting it up early just means I have a chance to lose concentration on it before it starts.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think I'm doing any setups.
This is it.
This is it.
All right.
Sorry, are you all going to the same place, or are you all going to where you came from?
We're going to where we came from, I think, except for Tati. Crystal has worked out some banishment magic so that Tati will be joining us.
Tati, are you still in handcuffs?
Yeah.
That seems like it would be inconvenient for the goals that you have in front of you.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on.
I'm imagining Tati looking down and remembering she's in handcuffs.
I'm imagining her taking it
so-
off to scratch her back or something, putting it back on.
The handcuffs are easily released by Tati.
Got it.
She's
I'm
just been
gonna
wearing
put those
bracelets.
in the bag.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put those in the bag. Those will be useful later.
Perfect. Just curious. Okay, great.
Thanks for pointing that out, though. That sounds helpful.
Yeah. I didn't know if I had checked with Eric beforehand. I was like, is it something that Silas can break them? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, I didn't know if that would be, but I forgot. Of course, you can just slip right out of them. Perfect. Well, Eric, anything else Silas should do before just sending them off to where they came from?
Toast.
Silas, we're forever in your gratitude. Metaphorically, we don't owe you anything. Thank you.
And with that,
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
you will be waved off back to the Temple of Mosaba, where you guys find yourselves in combat next week. Because we do not have time to get through this tonight, we will come back next week and continue to explore what's going on here. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. With Saphira, the Toivoan Trainwreck, and can you save her? We'll find out.
I have more hope this week than last week, so
Yep.
She's so pretty in her new look.
I hope she can keep the robe after all of this. If she makes it,
I hope
red's
she
a good
keeps
color.
the horn.
Am I the only one wondering where her sword is?
If you zoom out, you'll see it.
She's got a sword.
I
Yeah,
think
but
all
like
of her
her sword,
items
is that it?
took
Yeah.
a walk.
All right. Well, that's where we're going to end for tonight. We'll come back next week for the next episode of the Toivoan Trainwreck as you guys try to rescue her and stay alive at the same time.